Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains, we speak.
You're listening to Denver Orbit, featuring voices.
I'm going to give you an awkwardly long and uncomfortable list of reasons why you shouldn't shave outside.
Stories.
Now, he was very outspoken about the effects of war on himself.
And music from Colorado's creative community. Listen at denverorbit.com or on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, or most other podcast apps.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hey, this is Adventure Lounge. My name's Jagger.
And I'm Zach.
And we're on Real Nerds. Come check out the awesome crossover episode.
This is Real Nerds Podcast.
That was really loud. My God.
Welcome back, James.
Oh,
Special guest this week, James Hart.
God damn. Sorry. My life is blowing up still.
How was your move?
Oh, it was great. I paid for movers this time.
Isn't it the best?
Heavenly. Yes.
Isn't it the best?
I was still exhausted at the end of the day, though, and I don't know why. Like, they were done, and they moved everything to the right floor of the house, and we both just sat. Like, I plugged the TV in, because that's what you do first.
Absolutely.
And then we sat there and watched baking shows all night, because we were like, I'm just so tired.
Yep.
It was exhausting.
Moving's the most stressful thing in the world.
Yeah, especially right before Christmas. Like, fuck me. Oh, it was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
better now, but literally, I mean, it's been a week since we moved, and it feels like we moved yesterday because we were out of town for Christmas and all kinds of stuff, and it was stressful and awful. But
hey, you know what? You don't have to do it that often,
right? I own it, and when I blow the whole kitchen away and put in a new one, like, the money will stay there.
Exactly.
Like, it'll be worth more.
And it'll be your kitchen, and you don't have to ask anybody what you want to do to the kitchen.
Well, that's not true. I have to ask Brooks what I want to do with the kitchen.
James, the question isn't with it. You could be like my house, where my wife just tells me that's what we're doing, and that's how it goes.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I say, hey, pick out how you would like the kitchen to be, so I can explode it, and then she picks stuff out.
Not me. My wife says she wants things, and I go, "Oh, how are we going to do that?" Then her dad just does it for me, so I'm like, "Awesome,
dude, that's great."
Yeah.
Have your dad blow up my kitchen.
He will.
Oh, man.
He'll be like, I want this tile here, and then he'll just do it on his own.
Oh, man. All right.
Our bathroom, I never asked him to. Well, Laura said she wanted to, like, make it nicer. So he custom made the sink, custom made the drawers.
Oh, what?
And I came home one day, I'm like, all right, well, see you later.
You don't need to ask him. He just wanders in with a hammer going, it needs my attention, and then just walks to the area.
It's that home renovating show that I don't know anything about, that I've never seen, but everybody likes.
And is indefinitely on TLC?
Yes. Yeah. With the two brother dudes.
Yeah, it's called Two Brothers.
Two brother dudes. That'd be the awesomest name ever. In case you're wondering, we're a Real Nerds Podcast, and every week on Real Nerds we go see a new movie and podcast our experience of the world. This week we saw Mary Poppins Returns, and stay tuned to the end of the show. We'll tell you if you should see it or not, then play the trailer, and then we will talk about the film, probably spoil it.
You should see it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm rusty.
We also, I didn't introduce anybody else. Brad, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Zach.
Yo.
Henry.
Hello.
In the flesh.
Here. Wow.
I want to point out, I think this is the first time that all of us have been in the room at the same time since like the 5-year film explosion.
Well, technically my wedding, but yes.
Yes.
I can touch you.
But for like podcast purposes, we didn't podcast your wedding like I wanted to.
Oh man, that would have been great.
And here comes the flower girl. She's walking down the aisle. She's going to be passing out petals. Oh no, the bridesmaid just fell. That didn't happen. I made it more exciting by adding my radio voice.
Oh, the humanity.
Yes. How's everybody's Christmas? This is the day after Christmas.
I got the Dick Van Dyke Show on Blu-ray.
Oh, that's the greatest Christmas gift you could ever get.
Yeah, it was really great. Thanks, Mom.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, Carol. That's a great gift.
Yep.
Man, I love the Dick Van Dyke Show. I've been watching it.
Yeah?
You know, I never talk about it when I watch it because I talk about it all
Right.
the time. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
one of those shows I just randomly plug in.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch season 1, disc 3 today.
You just randomly grab a disc. Why
Because
not?
that's one thing great about Dick Van Dyke Show, too.
It doesn't
is there's
matter.
some continuity to it.
Yeah.
But most of the episodes are self-contained,
Yeah.
so you can just plug
The
in.
only continuity
plug
is
and play.
the further into the show you pick, the better chance you have that the son isn't in the episode. And that'd be great.
Well, there's a great episode. I don't know if it's maybe season 2 where they explain his middle name. That's a fun
yeah.
one. Rosebud.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great show.
Yeah. Blu-ray
Yeah.
set's awesome.
Dick Van Dyke, hell of a guy.
He is pretty great. Maybe we'll talk about him later. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
Everybody else's Christmas okay? Everyone else is like, is everybody okay? Everyone seems really down.
No,
I'm getting over being sick.
Oh, dude. I had 102-degree fever on
Oh, shit.
Friday.
Gross.
I woke up on Friday and I felt like I was going to hurl. Let me backtrack. On Sunday, Kellen woke up and threw up all over me.
Oh.
And I was like, oh.
And you became a zombie.
Adorable.
Yeah. And I said, I swear to God, if that fucking kid gets me sick. And so on Friday.
Did you say it like that?
Yes.
I swear to God.
I said it like Clint Eastwood in a revenge movie.
So if you'd like to know, my sister's husband's family, they're sick. So I got it from them. I gave it to you
Damn.
and Zach.
So you're like zero patient. No,
they're patient
they
zero. but
pass it to you.
Yeah.
You're like the infected who just spread it.
Patient 1.
I'm patient 1 among the real nerds.
Yes.
So
And I still, like, my throat is still sore.
Yeah.
And so on Friday I woke up and I felt like I was going to hurl all day long. And I'm like, man, I feel like shit. And I didn't want to eat anything. So I didn't want to throw up. And so I got home and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see Mary Poppins. Fuck it. And I sat down and my wife looks at me. She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I think I have a fever. She put a thermometer. I had 102-degree fever.
Jesus.
Wait, your wife just carries her thermometer? Oh, kid. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. Well, and my wife, have you seen her? Probably not. We have this medicine basket.
Yeah.
That I don't even know what's all in there. She's like, here, take this. So she's probably doping me up and I don't even know it.
Oh, no, that's like me. I have one of those.
Yeah. And so I started feeling better on Saturday. And I was okay. My friend Brandon left on Sunday, so I took him to the airport on Sunday night. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to see Mary Poppins anyway. I don't give a shit. And yeah, it's awful. And then, you know, I work every day. And
Yeah, you had to work on Christmas.
yeah, so I did on Christmas. I work.
Man.
And you're like, oh, man, what problems could there possibly be on Christmas?
All of them.
Every problem.
Hey,
Jimmy stole my truck.
did you guys, if you get in a car accident, is your first response to point a gun at somebody?
Yes.
No.
Okay, well, then you'd fit right into what I had to do on Christmas. These guys, like, rubbed bumpers on the highway, and so they pulled over, and the one guy in the car from behind is like, oh, man, I accidentally hit this guy. I better get out and get his insurance information so we can exchange it. So the guy, like, walks up, and the dude in the other car, like, points a gun at him. Natural response, right?
Wow.
Man.
That's the 4th time this year I've been on the highway because, A, someone cut someone off and pointed a gun at him. B, an old guy ran through a stop sign and had a flip phone, and he held it up like, so I'm, for people listening at home, I'm lifting up my right arm, and I'm moving through a stop sign, so it looks like I'm, like, tracking someone, and the guy's like, he pulled a gun on me. And it's like some 80-year-old dude trying to use his track phone. And the dude who reports like, I know a gun when I see one. Do you?
But do you know a Star Trek phaser?
Yeah. Pretty much.
So what's the consequence of like the guy who got hit in the bumper, like, and then pointed the gun, like?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, let's say I arrive on scene and I detain the guy with the gun because, he has a gun.
That's what I'm confused
he
about.
pulled
It.
on-
There's still
yeah.
like what 5 minutes, like
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
So I detain the guy, and I come up to you and I say, "Hi, sir. Did he point a gun at you?
Yes.
Did you feel fear? Were you threatened?"
I mean, a gun was in my face. I felt threatened.
Okay, perfect. Sir, I'm going to go ahead and be arresting you for felony menacing because the showman thought his life was in imminent danger.
Right.
Yep.
Now, what happens?
And his wasn't.
What happens when you run into a badass and like it's two badasses? So they say like, "Hey, are you threatening?" He goes like, "Hell no, I'm never scared of guns."
Well, then you say that there's no crime then.
Oh, hey.
Sure.
Because
But the important thing is, who pays for the damage to the car?
so the dude who hits from behind, the accident's his fault.
Right.
However, let me add a new twist to this. The dude who had the gun was drinking. So he got arrested by State Patrol for DUI. And there's also a charge called prohibitive use of firearm. You cannot be intoxicated and use a firearm.
Wow, shocker.
On an innocent person, which is a good law.
So to answer your question, the people.
Well, you don't
People
have to use it
bear
on a
the price.
person. So
No, I just mean
Yeah.
that making it worse.
Yeah,
He
oh,
wasn't-
yeah.
He wasn't using it to scare a dog away,
No.
which would also be illegal while
Yeah,
drunk.
yeah.
He was using it towards a person.
and the guy's
in
like,
a
"Well, I
violent
felt
way."
intimidated when he walked up to me." So your first response is to pull a gun out? See, here's the thing: is
Did you feel intimidated because you were slashed?
my whole job is to protect the Constitution, Colorado, United States. However, you shouldn't be an irresponsible gun owner. That's my advice. I don't care if you own a gun, just don't be irresponsible. If someone cuts you off or takes your parking spot, pointing a gun at them is probably not the proper response.
Nope.
So yeah, and then I dealt with people wanting to. What? I'm sorry.
So the guy walks up, gets the gun pointed at him, and then he just backs off.
Yeah,
goes back
backs
in his
up
car,
and
calls you,
us. Yeah.
and then he just sits there, and the other guy just sits there for
Yep.
like 5 minutes,
It
not
was
doing anything.
it was like 3 minutes. Yeah.
Oh,
Walk through.
It was.
I'm surprised he didn't try to pull away. Like I would.
I know. I thought the first guy would drive
Yeah,
off
well,
instantly.
the best part of it is it happened near Georgetown, and so there's only one other officer
Oh,
on.
that's why.
So I had to
Fuck that
I had to
place.
cover, so I got to drive really fast for a really long time.
Nice.
Cool.
And then when people don't move, I change the siren. It goes, and then they get really scared, and their car jerks over. And it's the little things, guys. It's the little things.
Well, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. So that's what I did on Christmas,
Cool.
Crazy
and
times.
people being stupid.
Yeah.
Yep. It was like Thanksgiving. Like some dude beat up some dude because he was trying to pass him on the side of the road on a bike. I don't know why.
Man, but like 4 years from now, it'll be great. You'll have Thanksgiving and Christmas off.
Yeah. Actually, the one thing I don't mind about working them is I get paid time and a half
Ooh.
plus an additional 8 hours.
Yeah.
Because if you don't work them in the city, because I'm a city employee, so I work for the government.
Yeah.
And so everyone, if there's a scheduled day off passed by city council, all those people who don't work get paid.
Yeah.
If I work, I still get paid
And
for
on
the
top of
holiday.
it, yeah.
Plus, I get
yeah.
holiday pay. So it's not a bad gig.
That's pretty good.
And it's really awesome is when you get your check and they take out $1,400 in taxes, and you're like, oh,
Son of a bitch. I was paying for everybody else's day off.
I was. When you make an extra $100 and you're like,
But they in turn were paying for my day off, and they were paying for his day off.
and then you get really excited at the end of the year and you file your taxes and you still owe money. Like, how is this possible? I don't know.
He's
Jinx,
going to
I
go to
don't
the
know.
White House and fight for us.
I know. I am so stoked that tax cut passed because I think I make like $2 more a pay period. It's really made a difference
That'll help.
in my life.
Meanwhile, some CEOs getting an extra $1 million a year.
I know.
Probably.
Isn't that
Yeah,
awesome?
but he's
Yeah.
working really hard. So
That is true. We also talk about movies that are coming out on Blu-ray, movie news,
Current politics?
politics. Sometimes you never know. It's going to be huge.
Huge. Yeah,
Yeah,
we do all this.
Yeah, we do all that stuff.
and more.
It's just been a long time. Thanks
Yeah.
for delaying this one. I really tried to rally on Friday. It was not happening.
Oh, I was out of town still in Fairplay until yesterday, so I was glad.
Ryan, if we couldn't have you on the Mary Poppins episode, I was going to come on the next week as Walt Disney and do a dumb review.
Ooh,
so
awesome.
Thank God you came.
Zach texted me. He's like, he wanted to talk about cosplaying through Disneyland as Walt Disney. I actually think that'd be a genius. Just like dress up as Walt.
Oh, yeah.
And then Just walk around?
I had
Everybody would
idea.
see you and go, Walt, what happened, man? Like,
I wanted to go around there going like, I built that, damn it. I built that, damn it. But then Brian pointed out he probably wouldn't have said damn it. I'm like, that's right. Consarn it, I built that.
That's right.
It'd be way more fun if you like feigned ignorance. So like,
Yeah, just
excuse me,
pretend
sir,
like-
can I get your signature or a photo with you? Like, excuse me. Like, yeah, you're Walt Disney, right? Like, no, this is my mustache.
Yeah.
These are my.
This is me just walking around with the Mickey Mouse.
These are my slack pants.
no, I
This
mean,
is
I'm
my
a young
dapper
Colonel
hair.
Sanders. I don't know what you're talking about.
I wanted to actually have him go through Star Wars Land though, and could be like, "What the hell is a Star War? What's a Marvel?
I didn't create Star Wars.
What are these blue cats doing here? I didn't make those."
I don't think anyone knows what the blue cats are doing there.
Well, now that they own it, now it's just
You know what? I want him to
Gravy.
just, or point out what things are missing. Like, where's Frontierland? Where's those happy Indians and cowboys? Like, it'd
were
be
the
fun.
Indians ever happy?
No, they weren't. That's
Frontierland's
the whole
still there.
joke of those.
You can
Yeah,
still go to the
Frontierland's
Golden
still
Cove.
there.
Yeah.
I see. I'm trying to find a way to go next year.
Oh,
'Cause
sure.
Tom Sawyer Island's still
I-
there.
Everything's great. Yeah.
If I can't,
yeah, Tom Sawyer Island. I don't know if it's open yet, but
the
It
ferry-
is. I think they
did
opened
they
some
open
of
it
it.
back
Yeah.
up? Okay.
Is the ferry still?
Yeah.
It was only closed because of Star Wars Land being built.
Oh,
They didn't didn't want you to ferry past the construction of Star Wars Land.
They didn't want me to
because they
find-
rerouted all the rivers of America to make room for Star Wars Land.
Oh, okay. Much like in real life, where we've rerouted the rivers of commerce to make room for Star Wars.
That was actually very apt. Good job,
Yeah.
Zach.
No,
I'm retiring now.
excited. Like they just released that
Oh, yeah.
behind the scenes footage. I'm like, oh, that's
I just
pretty
want to go
awesome.
stand under the Millennium Falcon, and then I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Well, I was reading that the hotel there, they actually is part of your experience in Star Wars Land, where the hotel will
Yeah.
like say, "Hey, how was Tatooine today?" and silly stuff like that.
Hot as balls.
And you go, I was at Disneyland. What are you talking about?
I was on Hoth.
Excuse me, I was on Jakku. Get it right, jerk.
No one wants to go back to Jakku.
Yep,
That was a
That's
great
what we
line in the
do.
movie we'll
That's
talk
what we
about
do.
later.
What are
So-
we doing first?
same thing we do all the time. We jump on a double-decker bus. We go around town with Brad. It's red and it goes around town. It's twice as high for twice as many friends. It's Brad around town in a double-decker bus. You thought they were in England, but they're in Denver. But they still serve tea and crumpets whilst showing Downton Abbey.
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
Brad, just start talking. Just start talking.
I want to congratulate you on upgrading your moped to a double-decker bus. I think it's pretty impressive. So.
I know, I'm moving up in the world.
His moped's a transformer.
Moving on up. No.
Moving on up.
To the east side.
Yeah. So the Esquire is still closed. So there's no Esquire at midnight. So let's just do catching the classes with Corinne then.
Did
Yeah.
they? So what happened? Like I saw one article, but like what was?
I
like,
think their water main broke and flooded the place, and so Landmark Theaters has to come in and renovate.
Wow.
In the city.
as long as they're gonna actually renovate and not just say, "Well, sure, we'll renovate," and then 4 months later it's closed.
Yeah, that was my fear, but they insist they'll be back.
Didn't they say it's closed indefinitely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not a
it
good
could
sign.
stay closed. Yeah.
I did not know that theater was originally called the Hiawatha. Now I know that.
Yep.
Oh.
And knowing's half the battle.
It was originally one screen, and then they built the second screen on this in the balcony. So
And Brad's
That's
favorite
cool.
place was born.
Man.
better
That's too
come
bad.
back.
Between that and the Mayan, I actually like the Esquire more. So I hope they fix it.
Well, without the Esquire, I don't know. We're gonna do our best of for the 48s each year because
Oh yeah, that's
there's a certain amount of like cost-effective to seat amount ratio that only that theater seems to provide. So
We can just do it at my house. I'm sure that's enough room, right?
Yeah. People can sit on the bed over there.
yeah. So catching the classics.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for calling in, Corinne. Let's play it.
Hey nerds, Corinne here for part 9 of Catching the Classics, where I watch famous and popular movies I've never seen before and send in my review. This week I tackled The Godfather. Yeah, okay. So, I got a lot to talk about with this movie, obviously. First of all, obviously it's like when I watched Jurassic Park, like it's so pervasive in pop culture. I just knew too much about it. I knew a lot of the big moments, a lot of the famous lines. I've seen plenty of parodies of this movie, or at least different moments of it. So just keep that in mind. And also, it's one of those movies that's talked about constantly. It's number 2 on IMDb, so it really could have never lived up to the hype. So that's the first caveat. The second caveat is that I have only seen it the once, obviously, and I haven't seen part 2 yet. So potentially could change my opinion of it after I see part 2, and I've heard part 3 is bad, so don't watch it. So potentially somewhere down the road, I'll probably watch part 2. So let me say what I liked about this movie first, and then I'll move on to my criticisms of it. So I liked all the performances are great. Al Pacino playing Michael is just phenomenal. And Marlon Brando, I thought he was going to come off as kind of cartoonish because they've seen so many parodies of his character, but I really liked it. And also, like, Robert Duvall is in this movie. Like, I never knew Robert Duvall was in The Godfather. So he was kind of the silent MVP award, or, the Boo Radley Award, if you will. And so, yeah, the performances are great. It looks good. I like kind of the feel and the look of it, where it's kind of like transitioning out of old Hollywood, but it still kind of has some of that like graininess and kind of dusty color to it. So it feels kind of like from the old country sort of thing. I like that. I like that it was set in like the 40s and 50s and not in the 70s when it came out. So that was good too. Okay. Let me move on to my biggest criticism of this movie, because I could talk about a lot about what I have problems with. But I'll just boil it down to, I don't think this movie does its character arcs very well. I think Vito gets a really good arc, but the problem is it comes at the expense of Michael's arc. And Michael is the main character of this movie. Like, really, we should have gotten a better arc from Michael, and either Vito's should have been earlier in the movie, or it should have been not given as much emphasis or something. I think this movie's trying to do too much. It either should have been more focused on Vito, and then maybe like at the end you could focus on Michael, and then like that could lead into part 2. Or it should have been more focused on Michael, because he's not in the first 40 minutes of the movie, really. And when he's there, he's just spouting exposition. But then Vito dies like 45 minutes left in the movie. And yeah, I'm very frustrated, because I think there's a couple of big scenes missing from Michael's arc. And I think the one that I'm thinking of, so he's in Italy and Apollonia dies in the car explosion, and then when we next see him, he's going to talk to Kay. And just like the audience, Kay is surprised that, oh wait, Michael's been back for like a whole year and he's just now coming to talk to her, and he's been involved in his father's business, and also he needs her for some reason. Like, I felt like there were some scenes missing before that. When did he come back? Why did he get involved in his father's business? Because he had kind of not been really involved in it before, or he was, but only because Vito had been shot. So it's like, why did he get involved? Did he want to get involved? Did Vito ask him, hey, because Sonny's dead and Freddy's in Las Vegas, like, I need your help? Whose idea was it? Was Michael reluctant to come into the business? Did he want to? Like, was he kind of like gung-ho for it? Like, I needed more of his transformation, because Vito gets a pretty nice arc. It's gradual and it's organic, and like, it's not that radical, but Michael's arc is very radical, and by comparison, it's not as organic, it's not as well executed. I think a lot of it is implied and not shown, and it's believable, but it's not earned, in my opinion. He just, he's even more brutal and vicious than his father and his brother were. And I needed, instead of the movie yada yada-ing him into the business and then kind of showing his transition into being the Don. I wish the movie would have showed us his transition from coming back from exile in Italy to becoming a part of his father's operation, and then maybe kind of yada-yada'd him into becoming the Don, because we've seen a lot of those stories of, like, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I think once you see him, like, if you just had a scene with him and Vito where Michael's like, you know, I want to come into the business, I can't let any more of my people close to me die, like, we need to protect the family, then that would have given me the motivation that I needed from him to be a part of the family, to be a part of the business and everything. So, yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't, like, bad. It was worth watching. But yeah, like I said, the longer it went on, the more frustrating it was. And it was just really annoying that so much of this movie, I felt like there were a lot of parts of it that could have been trimmed, like some of the scenes at the wedding or at the funeral with people throwing flowers on the grave. This movie is like 50% weddings, funerals, and baptisms, so you could have trimmed some of the stuff out of it. Or like the scene where that guy goes to shoot the other guy, and the leave the gun, take the cannoli, like, they could have trimmed that scene out and it would have been just fine. There were a lot of things in there. It's like, why are you having all these things that don't matter and then you don't have the things that do? That's why I'm so frustrated with this movie. It's 3 freaking hours and there's still scenes missing. So, I don't get it. I don't get why people think this movie's the greatest. I know it's like, very influential, and obviously, like, it kind of started off this whole, like, mobster, gangster thing, but it's just very frustrating to watch it in hindsight and just see some of the flaws with it, I think. My opinion. And I'll be the one, I'm gonna duck down when I say it, but I think they could remake this movie and it would be a lot better. Oh, duck for cover. I think that it would be kind of like, if I had grown up with The Godfather and people were like, we're going to remake it, a lot of people would be really upset, just like the way I would be upset if somebody's like, we're going to remake Casablanca. But since I didn't grow up with The Godfather and I'm coming at it a little bit more objectively than some people, I can see where things could be improved. And also, like, those 70s fight and gore effects are really, really bad. So it could be updated, and it would be arguably a better movie. So, Godfather, I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars out of 5. I liked it better than Scarface, but I didn't like it as much as The Green Mile, and both of those are 3 hours long, so I think that's pretty comparable. So, for next week, might do The Shining. We'll see. There's a bunch of movies on Netflix that I have yet to watch, and they're going to go off at the end of this month. So it might be The Shining, but don't be surprised if it's something else. So I hope you guys enjoyed Mary Poppins Returns, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.
I feel really bad for Corinne, because she needs to pick some good movies to watch.
Yeah, I've never been impressed with the Godfather movies. They're good.
Yeah,
but I just never could get into them. There's something about like 3.5 hour long dramas that I just can't get into.
I think to me it suffers from some of the same problems that I have with almost every Martin Scorsese movie, where like I watch it and I just don't care about anybody, which is fine. I don't watch The Shining next week.
No,
watch literally anything else.
I have a recommendation for you if you want something. The Lost Weekend won Best Picture. It was one of the earlier films won the Best Picture, and it's a very good film that no one ever talks about.
Yeah,
there you
with
go.
Ray Milland.
I bet that's better than The Shining.
It's about drinking. When did you watch it recently? Did you watch it recently?
A while ago, I did a kick where I watched all the Best Picture winners. And so
Nice. Yeah. No, that's a good film, The Lost Weekend.
Brad, you said you got sucked in by The Godfather recently. Are you a fan of the Godfather films?
Yeah, I think they're good movies, but it's definitely like you kind of got to plan your night for it.
Yeah.
And I like the third one. Aesthetically, it's a little it's jarring because it's modern. I think it is like set in 1990, but I don't know. It's kind of the same story for the third time.
I like it, but I don't like revere it enough to go back to it every year. So
It's one of those things too I always struggle with because I don't consider myself a traditional movie lover. So, stuff The Godfather, Shawshank Redemption, while they're good movies, aren't well, according to IMDb, aren't movies that I need to watch, and I don't think it's the best movie ever.
I'm just saying I don't want to put Shawshank Redemption, which I think is a great film, maybe not the best film of all time, but a great film, in the same bucket as Godfather, which I think is kind of boring and it's canon. In the same way that you're in English class and they make you read Lord of the Flies and you're like, this is stodgy and boring.
Yes.
That's what The Godfather feels like.
I agree 100%.
And it's not that it wasn't really important at the time and that there's not really good stuff there and it's not a way to make film. It's all those things. But it's just kind of stodgy and boring.
it's interesting to think that that's the least interesting thing Francis Ford Coppola's made is The Godfather, any of the Godfather films.
Yeah, it's the most...
Almost everything else he's made is more interesting than those films.
Yeah.
At least weirder.
No, because those other ones are far from what everyone else considers perfect.
Sure.
Yeah. And so you look at whether it's The Outsiders or Apocalypse Now or even his Twixt movie, Twixt. That's what it's not Twixt.
Yeah.
Twixt. They're all different and unique. Or Bram Stoker's Dracula, even
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I like the Godfather films. I can't defend the third one, but I like the last literally 5 minutes of that film where it's all one big montage, and I'm like, that's what the whole movie should have been. Was just one short film.
Godfather Part 3 is just a clip show of the previous two.
No, it's just a clip show of, spoiler alert, Michael Corleone dies at the end. The movie, if they were going to do it anything, the original title was The Death of Michael Corleone. I'm like, that's a better title than Godfather Part 3 for me. But then you also have to cut out all that weird stuff in the middle, the majority of the film.
They should just call it The Godfather Endgame.
The Godfather Part 3, Jack and Jill.
Anyway.
Awesome.
Well, good job.
Movie news is happening.
It's real news.
Pop Culture Con, I think, Denver is gearing up for a Back to the Future reunion.
Yeah.
Now we just need Michael J. Fox. As long as we get him in the morning, we should be okay.
So the T-shirt this year is going to be a DeLorean with each of us.
Oh
Suzanne style.
Oh yeah.
Can I please be Marty McFly with the watch?
Sure.
Please.
Can I be the Mr. Fusion?
There's James right there. Tiny part.
It's just Mr. Fusion with glasses.
That'd be sweet. No, it's awesome. Christopher Lloyd and
Tom Wilson
were announced
so far.
Yeah. Or if we could get Leah Thompson.
I think because there's
I would die.
I was trying to go I think Dallas Con or whatever did a Back to the Future reunion. So they had Leah Thompson, Michael J. Fox, Tom Wilson, Christopher Lloyd, Jennifer. Oh, the girl who played the first Jennifer.
Gray? Does that sound right?
No,
can't remember.
No, that's Dirty Dancing.
That is Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, I can probably conceive of us maybe getting everybody but Michael J. Fox.
Maybe Michael J. Fox might even do it too. You never know.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
What else is he doing?
Trying to cure Parkinson's.
No, it's good for him. I like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. He was just in the news recently.
Teen Wolf himself.
They had some breakthrough. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep. That'd be great if she went. I'd have her sign all my DVD copies
Howard
of
the Duck?
Caroline in the City.
I'd have her sign Howard the Duck.
And she'd say, get this. No, actually, I was reading. She probably is.
I'm sure she's. Yeah, I'm sure.
One of those things I would
gotta get
never
something
care. I was. So Shout Factory, Scream Factory put out Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
That's been a pain in the ass for him because Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger want nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading the review on Blu-ray.com today, and it's taken a while to review this. And there's this huge, bold paragraph saying, this is what happens when lawyers get involved. So originally the art had both of them on it. They took it out. And they have been removed from any mention in the special features. So, except for one passing thing about McConaughey. And I guess the back says that there's a behind-the-scenes still gallery. Not on there.
Weird.
God.
And I knew, because they were trying to release that, I think, in
They were trying
August,
to release, yeah,
maybe?
This was supposed to come out
August,
a while ago.
May.
Yeah.
And they kept on pushing it because Matthew McConaughey didn't think it was all right.
Man. That's too bad.
And Renee Zellweger.
I mean,
she doesn't have a catchphrase that's cool enough for this segment. But
he ought to go back and have his lawyers digitally remove him from failure to launch.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, who cares?
You don't
Yeah.
need lawyers
Like,
for that.
why
You
does
need
it
George
matter?
Lucas to do that.
I'm just saying, like he's made a lot of shit. Like,
Yeah.
just admit, yeah, it's okay. You're
It's
doing
okay.
You're doing all right.
Like, if I
You're
ever
doing all
became
right.
a famous actor, why would you just not sit down and talk about your first big movie and say, "Hey, I really didn't like it, but this is what happened."
Yeah.
He's probably been conditioned to think that that's a sin.
Well, and it's just it's how you broke in. Like that's part
Yeah,
of the
there's-
story.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No.
But
there's not.
yeah. Anyways, we're talking about
We
stand on my
need-
booze.
We need the same implications.
Penny Marshall died this week at the age of 75.
Mm-hmm.
That's
She's
too bad.
gonna do it.
Did you ever see Awakenings, James?
No, I didn't.
That's
I
a
never
good
saw
film by her.
Awakenings. Yeah?
It's not talked about amongst her stuff that much, but it's
Okay.
really good. It's with
Cool.
Robert De Niro.
Neat.
I would check that one out.
I'll have to check that out.
But yeah, and then League of Their Own, Big, Laverne and
Yeah.
Shirley.
Big.
Yep.
First female director ever to have a $100 million grossing film.
Yep. She was a very. I liked I liked her little thing on Happy Days that then leads into Laverne and Shirley, but I didn't watch a lot of Laverne and Shirley. So, but she was a fun lady.
Yeah, it's too bad. 785 is pretty good.
Did you know that she and Rob Reiner both had movies out the same year that they directed?
No,
it was Big and Princess Bride.
Oh,
or unless no, wait, I'm sorry, a year apart because Big's 86 and Princess Bride's 87. So never mind, I'm wrong, but not too far off.
Not the first time tonight.
Yeah.
Right.
nor the last.
Do you guys want to do trailers up front or at the end?
How about not at all?
Oh, come on.
Are there any trailers worth mentioning?
There's the trailer for Us, there's the trailer for Hellboy, and there's a trailer for Men in Black.
Cool, so we've mentioned
Yeah.
them, so we can now move on.
Oh.
No, I think the Us trailer is very interesting.
I think the Us trailer is really interesting.
Yep.
Sheesh.
You know,
I didn't know
Gone
Jordan
for like
Peele
4
was
weeks
such
and
a
everybody
big
puts their
horror movie
poop pants
fan.
on about a good trailer. Sheesh. I also think the Men in Black trailer looks really fun.
Yeah. In fact, I think the Men in Black trailer looks so good, I'm going to play it right now.
Oh, shit.
Always remember, the universe has a way of leading you to where you're supposed to be at the moment you're supposed to be there.
Let's do this.
It took me 20 years to find you. How many people can say that? You are the best kept secret in the universe. And I found you. Which makes me perfect for this job.
You really think a black suit is going to solve all your problems?
No, but looks damn good on you.
Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh snap!
We
Oh snap!
are a rumor. Recognizable only as deja vu and dismissed just as quickly. Time to prove yourself, Agent M. We may have a problem in London.
Welcome to MIB.
Move it on, lose it!
You will be with Agent H, one of the best ever to wear this suit.
Catching up on my daily meditation. Time for lunch, I think. You hungry?
It's 9:30.
Perfect. Tuesday's taco day.
Come to the club, step aside. Pop the seats, don't be heavy in the line. VIP, cause you know I got a shot.
We've been compromised. It puts every citizen of this planet at risk.
Come every time you come around my London Bridge.
Side view mirror.
Oh snap! Come every time you come around my London Bridge. Wanna go down like.
If we could all just look right here.
Just drive.
Going down like. Going down like. Going down like.
It's gonna be fun. We'll have fun with it.
There should be a big red button around here somewhere.
Found it.
We are the Men in Black.
Looks like the tables have turned. That was an incredible catch.
So where are the jokes in the trailer?
Oh, come on. It
Come
doesn't, no,
on.
they don't, they'll be in the movie. You don't need you need a big Poppy Zimbang wow
Liam
trailer.
Liam
Come
Neeson's
on.
replacing Rip Torn. That's the only joke we need.
It looked more fun than Men in Black 3.
Emma Thompson already
Totally.
replaced Rip Torn, huh?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
No, I think it looks fun.
It looks fun.
Yeah, I think it looks fun.
And
I'm waiting for a reason to like a Men in Black movie.
Well, the first one should be reason enough. I don't know what's wrong with you.
And I like that Hellboy trailer, but I do wish that it didn't look like a trailer for a late 2000s Jason Statham movie and looked like a fun Hellboy trailer.
Yeah.
But Dave Harbour looks cool, and that's all I'll
Yeah,
say.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
It doesn't have quite the same whimsy that I want
No,
to have.
it looks too mainstream for what Hellboy, or at least what I've come to like about Hellboy.
I read an interview with Dave Harbour. He said it's really gory and really fun.
Okay, cool.
And sometimes it might be hard to cut a trailer for it.
Totally. Yes.
And
that's
Hellboy's
a movie
a
that I
tough
think
sell
is
anyways.
hard to sell anyone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That wasn't like a franchise that was blowing up at the box
I think
office.
it's like $50 million.
Yeah.
It's
you know.
interesting. Like they can't have Hellblazer, so they got to call it Constantine, but they'll have Hellboy.
That's because Mike Mignola owns it.
Yeah.
So they only have to go through the dude who owns Hellboy.
Nice.
Where Constantine is, or you see like the name that says Hellboy.
Like in terms of putting it on posters.
Putting it
and
on
stuff.
posters?
Yeah.
Also, his name is Hellboy.
Yeah.
Whereas
Also, Warner Brothers.
Hellblazer's name isn't Hellblazer, right? Like,
Yeah.
Because if you
Well, the
get what you're
comic's
saying,
called
yeah.
Hellblazer.
Yeah.
But they changed it to Constantine because they don't want to piss off certain people.
Oh.
Well, but that was also a movie that was going to piss those people off anyway. Like,
But I guess,
Whoa.
that's DC and Warner Brothers and not...
the devil.
No, it's when you make a transsexual angel Gabriel your villain. That's when you're just gonna like everybody's gonna be pissed.
I
That
know.
movie's brilliant.
So did you see the? I don't know if you guys got the trailer before Mary Poppins, where it's about the kid who falls in the ice.
No.
Oh my! It
I
was
don't think
awful.
so.
Like Topher Grace plays this pastor, and so the boy falls in the ice and he's dead, and he's like lying on
That's not
like
wonderful.
a hospital bed, and the mom is saying, "Please, Jesus, get into my son's soul and bring him back to life." And it's the most pandering. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is maybe the worst trailer I've ever seen. I forget what it's called.
Here's the thing. When you throw around things like the most pandering when you're talking about Christian films,
Yeah.
you got to be very careful.
No, I'm
There's
telling you,
a lot of the most pandering in that genre.
It's really bad. You know, it's like, what was the one where the little kid died and he was in heaven?
Heaven is for real.
Yeah. So that one,
Great
this
kid.
one's way worse. It's
Oh,
so on the
I'm
nose
sure.
that it's. Yeah. I can't believe who got that trailer.
I got the dog one.
Oh yeah, I got the dog one too.
The Dog's Journey, or basically Homeward Bound, but
Oh yeah,
one
yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
The movie that's not a dog's
With
purpose.
CGI mountain lions.
In fact, when I was watching that trailer, I was like, man, am I in Mary Poppins? I was starting to freak out.
I didn't have to worry about that. I saw it at Atmos, and it was nothing but Disney trailers all in a row. But it was all for the remakes, so no Marvel or Star Wars stuff, nothing.
Yeah,
so it was really strange because the Lion King, then Aladdin, and then one other.
Oh, you had Aladdin too.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my god! Like
I had
now I understand why people are frustrated a little bit.
Yes, I had Dumbo and then Lion King, and I was like, "Oh God, this is terrible."
Yeah,
you guys,
look what we've
I'm
done.
excited for these things, but y'all gotta cool your jets, man.
And they threw another trailer for Pete's Dragon, the film that everyone saw.
Yeah,
we're gonna try it again.
We're gonna re-release Pete's Dragon because I think you guys forgot about it. Oh man, yeah. Anyway, I'm sad because Sean Levy left the Uncharted movie this week, so that movie continues to sit
gonna be
somewhere.
Maybe we don't
It's never
need.
gonna be
Maybe we don't need to do it. I think we're fine.
Here's the thing.
I know.
My mom is never going to play that game, but she would love that movie. All my hopes rest on that. It would be so great.
I will make
You
some.
could easily get a good pulp action franchise out of a well-made Uncharted movie. Like,
I will compromise. I will make sock puppets of Drake and all the other characters and make my own version and just be like, here you go. Here it is. Because they can't get this right.
No, Zach.
They've been doing this.
Zach, we want his mom to enjoy it.
Yeah. But wasn't Joe Pesci going to be in it at one point?
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, but
that man is a hack.
Hey, Nate, you wanna search for gold?
Instead, they hired The Rock to play him instead. So it'll be fine.
I'd say The Rock is
vehicle.
Nathan.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, The Rock can get it done. I feel bad James is
You
angry.
make me sad.
I know.
But what doesn't make me sad is that Johnny Depp's not going to be in the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie. and they're going to reboot it and make it fun again. And I have hope for the world. It's all going to be okay. We're all going to be okay, guys.
I mean, the bigger news is that they're still thinking that Pirates of the Caribbean can be a franchise.
Pirates of the Caribbean can absolutely be a franchise. It makes a lot of money.
It's done.
Just take the clown out of the movie, and maybe we'll have some fun.
The clown is why most people went to those movies.
Yes, but you could have made a good movie that then people go to for not the clown.
Yes, but we're
The
past
first
this.
movie was great without the clown.
So all you got to do is not cast anybody charming in it and just make it all about pirates instead. It'll be perfect.
Yes, you know why?
So no charming people.
Because pirates are cool.
Okay.
Just watch Black Sails.
I have watched Black Sails. It's not enough. There's too much talking in that show. I just want them to shoot at each other. Like, I just want a good pirate movie. Like, we all understand what I'm saying.
Maybe they go down.
I just want Cutthroat Island.
Different route. Treasure Planet franchise.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'd rather have that at this point.
All right, fine. Do you want... Yeah.
I just want pirates in space.
You can watch the first episode of Deadly Class online right now. I'm actually really excited about this.
Yeah, it's a cool comic.
Yeah, that was a really neat comic. I want to check that out. And then I will talk about this more later. But the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina was renewed for both the third and fourth season. So there will be lots of that show.
Well, by third season, because the season's coming out like in a couple months. It's called like season 1B.
Yes.
Is this season 3 going to be the actual season 2?
I think I think season 3 is the third season, saying that the new
Yeah.
season coming out is season 3.
So in terms
because
of-
I think they were confident enough in the first season that they immediately were like, "Hey, go make more of this."
I mean, it's a huge hit, so it doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah,
but like,
it's very good. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, they're gonna make a Black Mirror thing that's like a choose your own adventure thing, and it's weird.
Yeah.
But
We'll play
I will
through
play. I will play with that and that would be interesting.
You know, me and Brad always thought that'd be cool for DVDs. As as you
Yeah.
watch them, then something pops up and it branches out somewhere else.
That's, pretty much what it sounds like. This is because they've been working on the tech for a while. There's another software that's been doing it. I can't remember what they're called, but I think it's a neat idea. It's perfect for Black Mirror because since Black Mirror, like most British sci-fi, is very hit and miss. Like, giving me the choice makes that there's a better chance it'll be good than will be bad.
What if you found out all your choices were bad?
Well, if
then you're
all
the
of the choices
problem.
are poorly written, then that's on them. It's a writing problem, not a everything goes bad for people problem. But anyway, I think that's it. Unless I missed something.
Man.
There was one piece of news. It's not really news, but I thought it was interesting because it affected my family. Apparently, on Christmas Eve, a lot of people wanted to watch Infinity War on Netflix, but there was a glitch in Netflix's system. So he put in Avengers, it wouldn't come up. But he put in Affinity, it would. So there was a big storm about people being mad that Infinity War was no longer on Netflix because everyone tried to watch it and no one could.
Wow.
Man, you know how I watch Infinity War?
Slip that shit into my
put
Blu-ray
it in my
player.
Blu-ray player. Yeah. What?
Whenever you want.
You know how I watch Infinity War? I don't because it's in a box.
No.
Get your life together, man.
I know.
This is an audio podcast, but the look on James's face was one of despair. His eyes saying, "Help me."
Is there any Blu-rays coming out next week?
Yes.
Okay.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
I thought because it was Christmas holiday that nothing was popping up.
You would be
Oh
wrong
wait, that'd be
because
next week. It's got to be your bowl.
White Boy Rick is out on
Christmas
Blu-ray
Spectacular.
on the day of Christmas.
Yo, the weather outside is frightful.
In fact, because there's so few, there's only 7. I'll just read all of them. You can also get a collection of both Deadpool 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a movie called Strawberry Estates, where a man carries an axe.
And strawberries.
You can get a movie called A Cam Life, which is a documentary about exactly what you think it is.
Camels?
Yep. You can get a movie called The Go-Getters. Dunno. Brown Girl Begins. Not going to touch that one. And
wait, what?
Bayou Caviar.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Is it?
I'm going to buy you
It's,
caviar.
Tastes like fish.
It's Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, he directed it. It's his
And
directorial
Richard
debut.
Dreyfuss. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Man.
not very good, but it's a thing. So.
Merry Christmas.
Richard Dreyfuss. That's the next Netflix Christmas
I'm going to
special.
be in a movie directed by Cuba Gooding Jr.
Merry Christmas, Richard Dreyfuss. Wednesday on ABC.
Let's see. Well, okay.
Just put Richard faces.
Brown Girl Begins. It's 2049. Everything about this is not what I expected. It's 2049 on a forsaken island off the coast of Toronto.
Isn't Toronto landlocked?
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, wait a minute.
In the lake.
Okay.
I'm like, wait a minute. Something's not right here.
No, it's like a river, but still. Off the coast of Toronto.
It's 2049, so it's like Blade Runner times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the water's going to come in and swallow Toronto and leave Detroit alive. Like,
Wait, so
the water comes from the
so
east.
it's in the future, so all of Quebec is destroyed.
Yeah. You saw Las Vegas in Blade Runner, right?
True.
Yeah.
Imagine what they did to Canada.
Where the survival of the islanders depends on young T.
No, Toronto's on the coast.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
all idiots.
Wait, which one's right next to Detroit?
Well, let me pull up my
Quebec?
map.
We said we were real nerds,
Quebec
not
City?
map
Probably think
nerds.
of Ontario, which is like
Ontario.
the
It's
other big
Ontario.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. We pronounce it Ontario on this side.
Sorry.
On young T. Jean to risk death by a spirit so she can take her place as the Caribbean priestess to save her people. What is...
Hold up. Caribbean is
not near Toronto.
Even if it is on the coast. It's like,
So
this movie is
Toronto
great.
is bordered by Lake Ontario.
Okay.
So, but there is parts of Toronto that are landlocked. Toronto is one of the biggest cities in Canada. The entertainment district is in the Bay. So if you're in Toronto, visit the entertainment district and see some wonderful sights.
thank you, listening, all of our Toronto listeners.
Are there any islands off the coast of Toronto?
Let me zoom in on my Google map. Hang on a second.
Welcome to geography. Real Nerds.
Ironically, there's a place called Toronto Islands. There is Center Island and Muggs Island and Ward's Island.
All right, well, one of those is where Brown Girl begins.
Muggs Island sounds like a great title for a gangster horror movie. It's just a bunch of Joe Pesci's fighting each other on the island.
Man, welcome to Muggs Island.
No more Joe Pesci movies. Anyway, that's DVDs.
Awesome. We watch movies, too, throughout the week in a segment we call Watching Movies.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Brad, what do you watch this week? I literally just cut myself off there.
Deer in headlights.
So I got a question for you. Are we banking Bumblebee and Aquaman for January?
What are we doing next week? Aquaman?
Well,
You mean this weekend?
Yes, right. Yes. Yes.
So are we podcasting again in 3 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
If we don't, we'll mess up our streak.
Well, not technically, because even though you do a bonus episode, sometimes our
It's not a
episodes
numbered
are
episode,
numbered.
no.
We don't always have numbered episodes, though, for the week.
But we record numbered episodes every week.
I don't think it matters. It's been 6 years.
Well, technically nothing
We
matters.
did okay. But either way, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll go
Well,
see Aquaman
I mean,
and do an episode about Aquaman.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take Kellen to see Bumblebee. So.
I've already seen both of those. So
I'm going to see
pick one.
Bumblebee next week, I think. Because I'm waiting until Rafe comes back.
So Aquaman this week, then? The King of the Seas?
Sure.
All right.
It's got that Drake song in it.
Yeah. Drake and I rap.
No, it's just him
that's a really good
covering
impression.
Africa. It's awful.
Wait. Woo!
I think. Oh, wait, are you talking about the Pitbull Toto song?
Oh, sorry, it's Pitbull. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
Drake.
Pitbull who
It's
did,
Pitbull covering Africa.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. It's in the movie. It's not
so
even
embarrassing,
on the credits.
James didn't even know who sang it.
Right. It's terrible.
Anyways, Brad?
So I'm not talking about either of those. That's what this boils down to. Yeah, I watched the new She-Ra on Netflix.
Ooh.
And I found that a delightful experience.
Delightful.
Yeah.
You got good reviews.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like what they, the original is very shallow and kind of meh. I mean, it has its place in history, but this one actually has like a good story arc and it's serialized. And I like what they do with Catra and making her like more of the main villain than Hordak. But yeah, I recommend it.
I almost downloaded that and watched it on a plane, but I watched Mowgli instead.
Oh, you should have been here for the mini episode.
Yeah.
I also watched the third season of Efforts for Family, and that's fun and filthy, and it's just more of Frank not paying attention to his family and having to resolve that. I watched the 90s movie Copycat with Sigourney Weaver and Holly Hunter.
So it took me a little to catch up to that one.
Harry Connick Jr.?
Harry Connick Jr.,
Yeah.
who's actually not in it that much.
Yeah,
it's like Kiefer Sutherland in Taking Lives.
Yep.
Like he's the bad guy, and then he's not really in it.
Yeah, Taking Lives.
Mm-hmm. Kiefer Sutherland, Angelina Jolie.
Was there another one he was in? Who's like,
yeah, it's
Eye for an Eye. Yeah.
Is it Kiefer Sutherland in Taking Lives? Isn't it Ethan Hawke?
He is, but Kiefer Sutherland plays an important part in Taking
Taking
Lives.
Oh, okay.
I remember that right, Zach?
But yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
No, it's Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke's whole character is all twisted and fucking nonsensical. Kiefer Sutherland's like a MacGuffin.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of your standard 90s like thriller. But the crazy thing I noticed was there's a scene where Sigourney Weaver's like talking to Holly Hunter, and it's just a kind of a talking head back and forth cutting thing, and Sigourney Weaver takes off her glasses and puts them back on like 3 times within 3 shots. So look for that.
Probably like fuck it.
Yeah,
she just always needs to be moving.
Well, I think it's like 3 different takes, but whoever edited it put them too close together. Like
Sure.
so, she takes them off. It cuts to Holly Hunter. It comes back. She takes her glasses off again. Cuts back to Holly Hunter. Goes back to Sigourney Weaver. Takes her glasses off again. It's like,
oh, so it's not that she keeps. I thought you meant like she takes her glasses off, cuts back to her. She puts them back on.
no, they're already when it comes back,
she
they're
takes her
already
glasses
on.
off again.
Yeah.
She's got like on a
okay.
stick.
So while Holly Hunter
So
was
that's just-
talking, Sigourney Weaver supposedly put them back on.
That's just a normal continuity problem, not a travesty of filmmaking.
of human behavior.
I also rewatched The Shining, which I haven't seen in years, decades.
Should Kareem watch it next week?
Yeah, I still feel like it suffers from a lot of hype. It's a
big time.
fine film, and Jack Nicholson really just steals the show in it.
I just hate that people say it's the scariest horror film. I don't think it's scary at all.
Yeah, it's not scary. It's just kind of like it's more of a psychological thriller.
And
to
it takes
me.
a while for me to get into it because I think Jack Nicholson is so overboard even throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
It takes me a little bit to get into it.
I was surprised how early on he is unlikable.
Yeah.
I think the first time he starts writing and he just scolds Shelley Duvall, I was like, when did you seem like you liked your family, and all of a sudden day one you're being a piece of shit?
I always feel like he's unlikable from the moment he's interviewing for that damn job. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, but at least there it's like subtle. Like you kind of know like there's something going to be wrong here, but like
he's hiding it with his Randall P. McMurphy charm.
if you fast forward through the topiary stuff, the miniseries is a better film.
I know. You should listen to that interview I sent you.
I should.
It's in the same boat as all his Kubrick's films, where it's technically proficient, but it's artistically boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair.
I also got to watch the 1990 Captain America movie.
Oh.
Which
hell yeah!
Oh man,
the best Captain America movie.
Nope.
It's like
Matt
it's
Salinger.
so bad that it has like this charm to it. I can't describe it. It's really not good.
I've never seen it. Is it one of the ones where he has a motorcycle? Is it the one where he's got the transparent shield, or is this the one where he fights the Red Skull?
Yeah, he fights the Red Skull. Is it the one where it's like
it's a canon film?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
hooked to like the missile at the beginning or something. Is that right? And he comes running.
Yeah.
in. Yeah, I can't remember it. Off the top of my head.
Yeah, Red Skull actually has a nose, but he's got a red face and everything. Red Skull, whoever is playing Red Skull in the movie is actually into the character, and he's actually he's the only grounded part of the movie. Everything else is ridiculous. But my favorite part is when at the finale, he has a bomb in his hand, and Captain America can't get to it. So I think he throws his shield, and it's like 2 seconds away from exploding, and he throws his shield, and Red Skull falls off the cliff, and this is like Italy or whatever, and falls in the ocean, and then it never blows up.
Oh.
I was really hoping he would throw the shield at the exact angle where the shield cuts the wire on the bomb or diffuse it.
I mean, that's the only explanation, is they didn't focus on it, but I don't know how him falling off the cliff stopped the bomb from exploding.
The water put the fuse out.
I guess, yeah. That's
it was
another
one of
thing.
those old-fashioned bombs that was just one long wick.
No, it was like a digital timer thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Off of a bomb.
So that's why I'm like, probably not the water, but I don't know.
The salt water corroded the electronics.
That's some acidic water.
Instantaneously.
Yeah.
Within 3 seconds, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it is Italy.
It's
so.
God damn it.
But yeah, there's one part
Hugh Henry.
early on where Captain America gets strapped to Red Skull's rocket that he's shooting towards Washington D.C. And not only is the special effects of that terrible, but like there's a kid out on like 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and it's like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night. This kid's out there standing in front of the White House, and this shitty like green screen.
Oh, that's
Captain America stuck to a rocket, like flies overhead, and like he uses his strength to like divert the wings so it sails over the White House. And then he goes to like this diner later on, and immediately like goes into the women's bathroom like unannounced and just like punches through the wall and finds the secret staircase to the old lab where he was created. It's like, how did he, like, he's been on ice for 8.
How many women's bathrooms did he have to punch through?
Just the one. Yeah.
That we saw on screen.
Yeah, it's a rough time. And then I also watched Swamp Thing.
Ooh,
from sort of the same time, and that's a little smarter, but still kind of boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, then something good I did watch was The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
Season 1 and 2.
Oh, I haven't seen season 2 yet.
Yeah. And you've talked about it before.
Yeah, it's great. At least the first season's great.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, this woman, she's like the perfect housewife, and then her husband decides to leave her for his secretary, and she gets drunk, and then she becomes a stand-up comedian, and then Alex Borstein,
and she's funny,
becomes their manager.
Yeah.
It's Tony Shalhoub is her dad, and he's a mathematician at
Harvard,
Columbia.
It's close.
You're so close.
Ivy League.
Yep. And he's
her whole family is fantastic.
So yeah, it's just kind of like a period piece about her just trying to make it as a comedian and like juggle living with her parents and trying to be an independent woman. And
yeah, it's a lot about sort of like being a mother at that time, and then also comedy, and it's really good, funny.
And then the last thing, I finally started on my DC Universe subscription. I started watching Titans.
Not good.
I've only seen the one episode, so there's not like a good litmus test yet. But the first
this
episode,
is the fuck Batman thing. Oh yeah, is Batman in it?
Not yet.
Okay.
He's referenced, but off the heels of,
I'll start watching when somebody fucks
actually,
Batman.
I shouldn't say this
yet. I got a film to recommend to you.
Sorry.
So initially, it focuses on what's Raven. And she lives at home with her mom, and then her mom gets murdered, and Nightwing, who for some reason isn't working in Bloodhaven, he's working in Detroit as a police officer. He's assigned to the case, and
so are they trying to make it like a new gritty version where they're not really superheroes?
No, they're really superheroes. Like Raven has her powers, or at least what I know of them from that episode. But
it's just like a dark, grown-up version of Teen Titans.
Yeah, it's
like if Zack Snyder directed Teen Titans.
It's closer to Gotham, but like HBO level, like swearing and violence.
But like Teen Titans is for kids, so like
this isn't Teen Titans. This is just Titans.
Titans.
Yeah.
They've grown up.
But isn't the audience...
you have it.
Starfire sets a bunch of monsters on fire and they burn to death.
I feel like the audience for this would be like, kids who liked the Teen Titans.
Yeah, ideally, the audience that they're going for is me. People who, when I was a kid, grew up on the animated TV show Teen Titans, and I'm edgy and I want to watch my childhood friends be hardcore.
This is for millennials who can afford a DC Universe subscription.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The thing is, like,
that
demographic also needs like an elevated level of intelligence in the show.
Sure.
And the dialogue is Aquaman level terrible. And I stopped watching it and just started listening to it to get through it.
Which sounds like the opposite of
opposite.
It's more like an Aliens thing where you just want to mute it and watch it and make up your own stories.
Yeah, if I could just watch
style.
it and get the story, I would.
Yeah.
But I also didn't have time to like watch it
Sure.
without listening to it. So it's just like everything people say or do has been like pulled from some other thing you've already seen. Especially Raven and her mom. There's like another scene where she has a panic attack. The mom says like, "It's okay, honey, just breathe." Like
that's so Raven.
You've been sitting on that one.
I have been. I'm waiting till he finishes this sentence.
I'm sorry, we gotta shut it down. It's
fine.
done now.
Like that scene has been in so many superhero things.
It's also I have very limited knowledge of it. Just the very limited I've kind of gone into it. Because I've seen the entire season of Titans, and it's not what I always thought Raven was. They seemed changed it a lot to fit whatever show they were trying to make.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
So,
I'm not familiar with it enough, so this is my introduction to it. So.
Yeah. I know it's a very different character than the Teen Titans animated TV show.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I saw the movie this year, so.
Yeah.
What are her powers? She shoots angst at people?
Well, it's basically from my very limited understanding of it. I'm sure someone else who's a bigger Teen Titans DC head could do it. But she's the daughter of essentially the devil. And so she has the powers of the underworld and that.
Oh wait, that's Marvel.
Great.
So
that sounds like a great show I watched this year.
Raven is great in the Teen Titans TV show.
Oh, okay.
Not in this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what have you messed around on the DCU thing?
Yeah.
Is it cool or is it worth? I don't even know how much it is.
I don't know either because I'm getting it for free. But
I
think it's $11 or something
a month.
Yeah.
Does it
it's
have
$74 a year.
Does it have every animated?
Yeah, it's got
DC
everything.
movie
Like I
and
said,
stuff
I
on it?
watched Supergirl a couple weeks ago.
Doesn't it also include digital subscriptions to DC Comics though
Yeah.
as well? I think that's the big draw for most people is that it's a $10 a month to read all DC Comics.
Yeah, and
You get
merchandise
everything in
exclusives.
DC.
So
Gotcha.
it's your one stop for all the anything DC. There's a new T-shirt out.
That's kind of cool.
And they're releasing
because
a lot of
if you're
original stuff
reading 2 comics a month, that pays for it.
Yeah, and they got new shows coming out like Doom Patrol's on the way.
Yeah.
So, but this is just it's the pilot episode, which most shows isn't good. I started the Hawk and Dove, and it's only about Hawk and Dove right now. So, but I haven't finished it yet. So, but the guy who plays Raphael in the Ninja Turtles is Hawk, and he's this beat up just human character. He has no special powers, but he's trying to be a superhero.
You mean Michael Bay?
Yeah, the Michael Bay one.
Oh, okay.
Alan Ritchson plays Raphael.
Oh, okay.
No, Michael Bay plays
I
Raphael.
was like, those are CG animals. That's
Yeah.
Just giant turtles dressed up.
A turtle dressed as a hawk.
This is a real turtle.
Yeah.
This is a real box turtle.
And then I just remembered I also watched an episode of Happy, which is that
I've been trying to get into that. What do you think of it? No,
it's just sadistic for the sake of being
It's
sadistic.
sad.
They're
What's
I
happened?
couldn't get the
Oh.
story. So, what's his name?
The actor? Or,
The actor, yeah.
Chris Leone.
Christopher, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that's someone I know.
Christopher Maloney.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I don't know the guy named Chris Leone. Sorry, Chris.
He's this disgraced ex-cop, and he's kind of on a he has a death wish. After he got kicked off the force, he just becomes a vigilante and kills mobsters who people hire him to kill. And then there's some other girl gets kidnapped or abducted, and then her plush toy unicorn becomes sentient and is voiced by Patton Oswalt, and it flies around New York City trying to find Chris Maloney to hire him to save her. And it's he's the unicorn's sort of a figment of his imagination, he's the only one who can see it. And so basically he's just killing people and then getting captured and tortured by mobsters, and at one point he dispatches them but uses a fire extinguisher to put sprays on a guy, but he does it he's peeing on him. It's kind of that level of
Sure.
I only saw the first episode a while ago, so I don't
Yeah.
have but for me, I remember it coming off as this is what a 14-year-old boy would think would be a cool TNT show.
When he tracks down the mobsters and tricks them into finding him so he can kill him. He shoots the one guy out the window, and then he accidentally I forget what happens to him, but he trips and he also falls out the window. But he survived. Oh, he's having a heart attack while he's killing the guys.
It's not so long. I don't really remember.
And so he wakes up in the ambulance with morphine. So he thinks the unicorn is just drugs. So it's just dark and weird for the sake of being dark and weird so far.
It feels like the way I felt about Wilfred, where I watched Wilfred for a bit and then I got disinterested pretty quick.
Wilfred is great, though.
Yeah, I've heard that if you keep watching it, it's good. But just
I like
my initial reaction.
So that's what I watched this week.
James?
Cool. I got a bunch of stuff just to run through, but
6
I'll go
weeks
quickly.
worth.
I know, seriously, it's the worst. No, I'm not gonna.
You can, James.
I saw Adrift, which
the Shailene Woodley
is a,
one.
yeah, it's Shailene Woodley trapped on a boat with a dude. It's a really well-made movie that isn't very good. Mostly because I have a bias, which is there's a certain trick that sometimes movies try to pull, and they think it's going to blow your mind, and I think it insults the intelligence of the audience. And this movie does one of those, and it's pretty bad.
Did it turn out their boat wasn't real?
It's one of those.
Whoa, really?
Well, it's not that the boat's not real. That would be stupid.
She's in a coma, and she
But there's
imagined the
something.
whole
They've been on a
experience.
helicopter this whole time.
But it is a 47 meters down style. Oops, nothing was the way you thought it was.
No,
and they're trying to get a certain emotional draw from you, but it's instead of being a punch in the gut, it's more like you just kind of need to poop. Like it's not a good feeling.
They're tiny people that live in an aquarium.
Yeah, but it is a well-made film, and it's really too bad. I feel like if they had not made that terrible choice in how they told the story, it would have been a perfectly fine, forgettable movie.
If
So that movie just needs to drift away.
Oh.
If it was Brad's movie, it'd be a great secret backdoor pilot for that new Twilight Zone show that Jordan Peele's doing.
Right? Yeah. While I was on the plane, I watched Adam Sandler 100% Fresh.
Yes.
It's fucking good.
It's amazing.
It's really, really good. Man.
It just proves
Anyway.
how much of a genius he is.
Yeah, he was hilarious. Yeah. And the whole jumping back and forth between different versions of that performance was great. And makes you think a lot about, what parts are intentional and what there's one part where they start the guy playing piano starts too early and a really good joke comes out of it and you're not sure whether or not that was real or not. There's some really great stuff.
I think it's great that Adam Sandler is literally living funny people in real life.
Yes, it's true.
It is
he
true.
He is living, and I think he's aware too. I would hope that his life at home is lots better.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm sure it is.
I think he's been married for something like 20-something years.
Yeah. But no, in reality, yes, he's making absolutely garbage and actually really talented. So, I got a chance to also watch Hotel Artemis on a plane. I watched a lot of things on planes. Hotel
Snakes?
Artemis is fucking dope. That movie is fun.
Yeah, it is.
It is a good time at the movies on a plane. It is at times I don't know. I don't even want to call it silly. It leans into its weird sci-fi post-apocalyptic premise pretty good, and just comes up with a fun. I would compare it to like a John Wick, where if you think too hard about the weird world we're in, it might fall apart, but you just choose not to and instead enjoy the 3 really corny but amazingly delivered one-liners that John Bautista has. My favorite probably being "Visiting times are never," which was great. I can say it here, not funny. When Bautista says it, it's great. Oh man. I think everybody in the movie is really good. Jodie Foster is surprisingly wonderful. I mean, not surprisingly because she's not wonderful. I just mean
where did that come from?
Yeah, it's a weird. I just thought it was weird she was in the movie at all, and then here she is playing this really interesting for a weird sci-fi action movie kind of character. It is a surprising little gem that for an hour and a half long is, I think, one that I would easily recommend to anybody. It's just a fun action movie, you know. A Charlie Day.
He's so hot in this film. It was so great.
Not how I was going to describe it, but sure. Surprisingly, walking that line. It's almost like he's trying so hard to be an asshole that it almost doesn't work.
Yeah.
But it's perfect. It's perfect casting for that, where he's supposed to be an asshole, but who's also a complete joke. So anyway, on a plane, I watched Mowgli, The Legend of Jungle.
Talk about it.
Yeah, that's watchable film.
Yeah.
I
know.
My biggest problem with it is, I mean, the CG in general is not great for the animals, which is a shame considering that's like the reason this one is interesting is because it's from the guy who makes CG things.
I don't think it looks too terrible, but like I'd like to see it on a big screen and compare it to in my head to what Jungle Book, the Disney one, looked like.
I submit to you Shere Khan. One of the worst looking CGI characters I have seen in 20 years.
I know, it looks like he got hit on the head with a frying pan.
It's awful. Like, everything about the design of Shere Khan is embarrassingly bad.
I'm still trying to figure out Baloo.
Yeah, you should. Baloo looks way better.
That lip thing, man.
Yeah, but Shere Khan looks like a weird, like, cartoon with Betty Boop's makeup on. Like,
what?
It's very bizarre. It's like, and then they took Battle Angel Alita's eyes and put them on there, but with the eyeliner on it. It's awful.
Well, Circus and Jim Cameron are good friends.
Yeah, but like the early versions of Battle Angel Alita's eyes, not the good ones from the release of the movie, but like the first trailer where it was just like, what the fuck is on her face? Like that version, but on a tiger.
Yeah, I mean, like they're not like. I mean, like. Yeah, it's not good.
Go watch the real Jungle Book CG movie, and then you'll remember, like, oh no, these animals look amazing.
I mean, like, and I should have caveated that, like, I haven't seen that Jungle Book remake since it came out in theaters. So
yeah, you should see it again. I started watching it last week, and I was like, oh man, this shit looks great.
You
know who looks great in that movie? Shere Khan.
Yeah. I do like the way that the background and stuff like blends pretty well within like the environments work well in that.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think the kid who plays Mowgli is really good. I think the story overall is fine.
Frida Pinto is wasted in that movie.
Frida Pinto is wasted in that movie.
Like wasted.
And she shows up and I'm like, oh, you're adorable.
And then all of a sudden she's just there to do nothing.
Yeah,
like the most wasted thing ever.
I saw The Favorite. Which is great. That movie ended, and the lady next to me was like, shoot, how did she say it? Some just stranger who leaned over and basically made some comment about the director being like really not nihilistic, but similar to that. And I was like, I don't think you watched the same movie that I did, but okay. The Favorite is about a rivalry.
Yes.
No,
we know those are Jim's
actually it is
kind of movies.
Yeah, it is a rivalry.
Man,
but their rivalry really isn't the main focus of that film.
Yeah, performances alone, I think this movie is worth seeing. I think the story is really interesting. I mean, it's basically these two women who want very different things, and I think the reason why I guess I shouldn't say it that way. It makes maybe a sad statement about fighting over shit like this, because it doesn't end up necessarily well for anybody, which I think is great. I think it's part of what he's trying to tell. What is really fun and funny and entertaining about the movie is how much like he blends the Pride and Prejudice of it all with like some modern tropes and a little bit of modern dialogue, and like every now and then like he just pops in and like people swear or say terrible shit or just very upfront in a way that you don't expect them to be, and it's hilarious.
The dance sequence was one of the biggest laughs I heard in my theater.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when he's just doing that move.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Good thing it's a visual podcast. Describe your moves for us, Zach.
I'm not going to do that. I know I made a mistake.
It was kind of like Fortnite Dance number 6.
I still have never seen you played any bit of Fortnite.
Please don't.
Is The Legend of Zelda in it?
No.
Okay, well I'm not going to play it.
It's like PUBG but faster. Does that make sense to you?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't even know what that is.
It's like Mario but bad.
Yeah.
No, Mario's an adventure game. I thought, isn't Fortnite a shooting game?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not Mario.
Sorry, I haven't played it
either. Also, in my time gone, I got a chance to go see Boy Erased at the Sloan's Lake.
Did you find him?
No, he got erased.
Wow. We stenciled him back in.
Oh my gosh.
How was it?
Boy Erased is incredible. One of the best films I've seen this year. It is the movie that, Pure Flix doesn't have the balls to make.
Because it would probably go against their edict.
No.
Really?
I think it is the best Christian film made in 20 years. I think it's
surprisingly
even better than the good ones.
It's surprising how, because like the trailer kind of makes it to be like really anti-religion when it's really not. It's
not.
very.
This is a movie with really good depictions of godly people hurting each other.
What's this movie about?
So this is the movie. Sorry, thanks. This is the movie with Russell Crowe, where.
I really wanted to see this movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Russell Crowe, Lucas Hedges, Nicole Kidman. Lucas Hedges. Russell Crowe is a pastor in Texas.
That's right.
Nicole Kidman is his wife. Their son, Lucas Hedges, comes out as gay, and they send him to a camp to help make him better. And like. Everybody I've recommended it to, especially in the last few days, as Christmas parties have come up, and at Christmas I'm telling everybody, you should go see Boy Erased, and they're like, that seems
stop
really
yelling
sad.
at me.
I'd like to see Mary Poppins. Your movie seems sad, and I'm like, well, the truth is, and this isn't spoilers because I genuinely believe the first line of the movie tells you this. It's a movie where things are going to be okay, but you got to go through a lot of shit to get there. And I think that's part of why I love it so much, is that it doesn't simply make the statement that this shit is bad. What it's actually about is how this struggle creates division inside this family, and that's the problem. And that nothing about him or his choices or his lifestyle or who he thinks he is as big of a problem as the fact that he and his dad can't talk to each other. And that, to me, is what is really beautiful about the movie. And in my opinion, is the reason why it's the best Christian film, because it's like the lesson that people should fucking learn by now. I think it's fantastic. I agree. Like it treats the subject matter very intelligently and respectfully in a way that I appreciate. I just think it's fantastic. We'll talk about it more in 2 weeks.
Joel Edgerton directed it, and it's...
right. Joel Edgerton is like the camp counselor.
Yeah.
And he directed it.
It's his follow-up to The Gift, which is two very different films.
Two very different films.
Just proves he's a good filmmaker then.
Yeah. He's got some great scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
And the kid who plays Colin the fat kid.
Yeah.
His performance is fantastic. Yeah. I mean, really like a really subtle little role. And Nicole Kidman's great. I mean, I generally don't like her. Every time I see her, she never falls into her roles.
Stop the car, Cole. Stop the car.
She never disappears into the movie the way that I would like her to. But in this one, I think it was much better, and I just think she did a great job. So anyway, Boy Erased is wonderful. I also finally got a chance to catch up. This came out during the week of my wedding, so I finally got a chance to see Won't You Be My Neighbor. I cried for 2 hours. It was embarrassing, but I adore this movie. It's only an hour and a half long, so I cried for 30 minutes after it was over. No, I think it's a fantastic documentary. I think it's extremely moving. It is, the message that it is trying to send is great, and I adore it. There was definitely a certain level of nostalgia there for me, because I watched that show as a kid, but I think everyone did.
Oh yeah.
And there was certainly a certain level of learning things about the history of where this stuff came from, but so much of the documentary ends up being really about what he was trying to do, whether or not people believed him, and whether or not he believed he was actually accomplishing anything by the end. And I think that was really part of what was so beautiful and heartbreaking about it, is that last section where he does the PSA after 9/11. And you just spend an hour, remembering how beautiful and brilliant this whole effort was. And here's this guy who isn't really sure he made an impact at all, and it's just heart wrenching.
Some of the stuff that they talk about behind the scenes from that show,
yeah,
and just the different characters and stuff like that, it's mind-boggling. Like, I mean, like,
Yeah.
watching it as a kid, like, it's just like, but I didn't watch it like a ton as a kid, so like watching it in the theater with my folks, like, they knew way more about it than I did.
Sure.
So some of these characters I like didn't know. I knew who the puppets were,
Right?
And but like that's the different like side characters and whatnot. Like, it's pretty incredible.
And how some of them just simply popped up because he's like, "Hey, you want to act, right?
Yeah,
you wanna
yeah.
Play the mailman."
He basically just dragged people. I'm like, who, me? No, I'm having this donut. No,
because that wasn't what it was about for him, and
Yeah,
that's
no.
part of what is so brilliant.
Yeah, the
about
show business
that
element
kind of
had
about
like
the show.
absolutely nothing to him, which is great.
Yeah. So yeah, that's amazing, and literally everyone should watch it. I think it's great. And then the very last thing I have is that I watched through the entire first season of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which I watched on a plane.
Spooky. That's a long plane flight.
It was. It was like 8 hours in a 24-hour period that I was on a plane.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I watched one episode not on a plane. I really got into this show. It was kind of hard early on because, like, by the end of the second episode, I was like, man, this show's really satanic in a way that I kind of have a problem with. And not, like, in the fun Satan way, but in the, like, we're really going to talk about the rules of Satanism and what its motivations are. And, like, to the extent that before watching it, and I was like, this is stupid. The Church of Satan is suing them for using a depiction of their god in it. That's dumb. And then I watched the show and went, oh shit, the Church of Satan should sue this thing. So I say that because in the first 2 episodes or so, you're learning a lot about Sabrina and her life, and she's a witch and her aunts are witches, and it is in no way the fun TGIF show of the 90s.
With a talking robot cat.
Right, no, not at all. There is a cat. It's not fun. And she's about to turn 16, and if she does, she's got to leave her life in the normal world, because she's half witch. She's got to leave her life in the normal world, going to normal high school with her normal, wonderful boyfriend, Henry. Hey, Henry.
Hey there.
Hey.
My
And
love
they're
life's going really well
adorable.
now.
They're just so cute.
Thank
and
you.
you just really don't want them to have to break up so that she can go be a witch, because she has to sign her name in the book of the devil and give up her soul to Satan in order to get superpowers. And you're like, holy shit, this is a dark show about Satan. But what's great, and when it turned and I was like, oh, this is awesome, is like, but anyway, there is this whole thing about, like, how here's all these women and they're all empowered because they can do all this magic stuff, and isn't this great? And you just have to sign your soul over to the devil. And she has that moment where the whole lesson is like, oh well, the only rules in Satanism are you do whatever you can do and whatever you will do. Like you get to do whatever you want, right? Isn't that great?
Sign me up.
Except that you have to sign up to do whatever the devil tells you to. And so in this moment, she realizes that in order to become a powerful woman like all the women around her, she has to put herself in allegiance with a man. Like, she ends up always having to be under the thumb of this guy, who is also, fucking the devil. But that's kind of ancillary to her whole argument. And that was when I was like, oh, okay. Like, this is actually kind of interesting. And I enjoyed her as a character a lot. I think the performances are really fun. There's it's kind of episodic. Like, there's a couple little bottle episodes where it's like, oops, we accidentally killed some people and then raised them from the dead, which was actually a really dark little run or subplot. A very monkey's paw sort of thing.
Murdered by Pirates is cool.
It was actually really entertaining. I got pretty sucked into it. I'm pretty excited about a second season.
Sold your soul to Satan, did you?
I think because that's the whole thing, is that she ends up fighting very hard against all the shit that's bad about religion in this show. And that's the part that I find really interesting, right? Like, there's an episode about people sort of mindlessly following the rules of the religion because of what they are being told is good or that they should be excited about. to the extent that, like, a character is going to let everyone else eat her. And Sabrina has to convince everybody, like, hey, we shouldn't eat people. That's a thing we shouldn't do anymore. And it's really great. Like, I enjoyed it quite a bit. So, yeah, I think it's a well-written show. People should check it out. Just don't, like, get into Satan.
Aww.
Too late.
Spider-Man did it once. Why can't I?
Oh.
If Spider-Man jumped off a bridge, would you do it?
Yeah, because I'd use my webs to swing.
To be fair, Spider-Man jumps off
Never
bridges
mind.
all the time.
Yeah, and if Spider-Man jumped off a bridge, I would do it because he would save me.
That's
okay,
right.
Fine. This was a dumb question yet again from me.
Henry?
You're doing fine.
Hi. So luckily, I have not watched much in December. I'm going to start. On the plane ride here, I was very hungover, and I thought, what would be a good decision to do right now? I know, watch the new Lars von Trier film.
Oh.
So I watched The House That Jack Built.
Wait, was it available on the plane, or were you watching it on a phone?
I rented it like on my computer like a couple days prior.
Oh, okay.
But it was like, it's on my computer. I guess I could watch this. It's this or Mandy, and neither of them sound like a good film to watch on a plane hungover. So like,
oh mercy.
So I watched The House that Jack Built, which is the new Lars von Trier film, and it is just as pretentious as all the other films Lars von Trier has made. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes long of just this guy being like, yeah, so I'm like a really good serial killer. He's like narrating to another person who you never meet.
So it's like American Psycho, but not cool.
Yeah, but pretentious.
They don't talk about, bone white business cards.
And it's like basically about like him being like, I'm like the best serial killer of all time, and I'm going to tell you about all the different murders I did that shaped me as a serial killer. And it just goes through all of them, and each one's like, and this is the one where I got into architecture, and this is the one where I got into like home design, and it's just, fuck it, I don't care. and they just.
Is it a film about a psychopath written by a sociopath?
It's a film about a murder written by a horrible person. But anyway,
so basically what I said.
Yes.
And so, but like the one thing I will say, there's no real good to this film. But I will say there's some nice title design. So, good job, the guy that designed the titles of this film.
Nice.
He spell checked it correctly?
How are the credits?
The credits?
Yeah.
Great.
Standard black and white?
Like it'll be like Victim 1. And that title card, beautiful. Everything else, not worth it. So, but yeah, Lars von Trier, stop making movies.
Wow.
Love it.
Man.
I'm on a kick right now where I'm watching all of Robert Altman's filmography.
Cool.
And I'm almost done. I'm getting to all these films that no one ever talks about.
Sure.
Starting with Health, which is a film about a like vegan convention. It's like all those other films. It's like
how has no one heard about that? Because vegans tell everybody that they're vegans.
Because even vegans are ashamed of this film. It's basically it's like a standard kind of ensembles type stuff where it's like 1 billion people at this one convention and they're all talking over each other and nothing really makes sense. Yeah, Health. I wouldn't recommend it. There's a reason no one talks about it. It's just boring. There's no real. When you compare it to like Nashville or The Play or all these other games which are like very big ensemble pieces that are really good.
Gosford Park.
Yeah, another example. Yeah, there's it just doesn't stack up to those.
Sure.
So
Prairie Home Companion.
I also watched Streamers, another film he made, which is actually an interesting film that is hard to find. I found it like just in segments on YouTube.
Is it about YouTubers?
No. Wouldn't that be ahead of its time?
It would be.
But it's about like this kind of group of these guys who are in boot camp, and they're getting ready to go to Vietnam. They're like really excited about it, and then like the night before they have to go, they find out that someone else on the squad is gay. It's about how like some of them are like, well, I don't trust you anymore.
Sure.
Like I can't go into field because I know you're gay, and I can't trust you because of that. Huh. And it's about that conflict that they all face.
Interesting.
It's a really interestingly done film that kind of, it's well done. I would say I'll do that. I'll say that much. I rewatched a couple films to make sure they're going to be on my film explosion list. So yeah, I won't talk about them yet. I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Ooh.
I will say I think it was a little bit hyped up for me. So I thought it was good. I thought it was great, but I just didn't think it was like the greatest superhero or animated film of all time. I had a good time with it though. It's in my top 20. So yeah. But yeah.
Ryan, put the gun away. That's illegal in most states.
I'm not going to throw that at him, Brad. It's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, even if it's wrong.
No, I mean I liked it a lot. I just thought
it is a movie that's gotten a lot of like in weird corners and other podcasts I listen to and stuff like that where people who have no reason to talk about it will suddenly be like, "Have you seen the Spider-Verse movie? It's the best movie ever." And I'm like, "Oh man, there's a lot of hype out there. I can see
it's
how
like it's number 15 on IMDb's top 250.
Oh wow.
So I was and so like I
didn't
still
even know that.
That's almost The Godfather.
Yeah. Like I still gave it like 4 stars out of 5.
Yeah.
It's just like I kind of like after they introduced like the 3 main spider people, they introduced the other 3 spider people, and I felt like they never really got a chance to truly shine, and so I kind of felt bad about that. I want to see more of those guys.
Sure.
But yeah, I think I will say this. It's a miracle that they pulled off the Spider-Verse storyline in one film.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
impressive.
like-
I mean, kind of a Spider-Verse.
No, yeah.
It's really-
Well, it's
But no,
Spider-Verse as most as like every other storyline they've done.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that you have, Spider-Ham and things like that in a film is pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Some superhero movies can't even pull off a single storyline.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the thing I would say about the MCU is if they can ever pull off Spider-Verse or House of M, they can do anything.
Can they do Marvel Apes?
I did not know that was a thing.
All right. Well, so they can't do everything.
We'll see. But yeah, I do recommend it. It's just, it's very good. It's just not as good as I wanted it to be. So, I watched Holmes and Watson.
Oh
boy.
Okay.
So that was a mistake.
you didn't call any of us?
You're right. What was I thinking? To be fair, I showed up to the theater wanting to see Vice, and it was sold out. So I was like, what else is showing? They're like, well, we have a showing every 30 minutes of Holmes and Watson. I was like, okay.
Because the movie's
Can I pay
only
twice for
45 minutes
this?
long?
So I went and saw Holmes and Watson, and I exhaled through my nose twice.
So I want to see it, even though I know it's going to be an extremely inferior Sherlock Holmesian kind of thing. But like, how is it just as a comedy with those two guys?
Like I said, I exhaled through my nose twice. That's the extent of my laughter. Ray Fiennes has 5 lines.
Come after you like a spider monkey, Henry. Jeez.
But yeah, don't see that one, unfortunately. I really wanted to like it, and I just couldn't. And then the last one I saw is Countdown, which is another Robert Altman film. It's just okay. It's kind of bland. It's about it's basically they made it in '68, and it's about the moon landing. It's about like the kind of like what they imagined the moon landing would be. The only interesting thing about this film is that historically speaking, I found this out. It's a film that conspiracy theorists will point to when talking about the faking of the moon landing, because it came out a year before the moon landing happened, and the theory is that this film portrayed the moon landing so horribly and so inaccurately that people were like, "That's not how the moon landing works." And a year later, they saw the moon landing happen, like, "Yeah, that's how it works." And they hired Robert Altman to trick the entire United States into thinking that. That's the one interesting thing about this film.
So they say that this film is a triple cross? Or a double cross?
Yeah, that the film is intentionally bad so that when they made a bad version of the moon landing, people would believe it.
I'm going to go jump off a cliff now. Goodbye, everybody. I'm done.
Also, have you ever really seen the curvature of the Earth? I mean, think about it.
No.
Have you ever seen the curvature of the Earth? Have you ever really seen it?
No, I don't care.
And we all know the moon. And we all know the moon doesn't exist.
Right. It's a hole in the tapestry that God puts over the flat Earth.
Also, it's made of cheese, and a British man likes to eat it.
Yes.
And then just finally, I'm watching Parks and Rec for the first time.
Oh,
so I'm working my
cool.
way through that.
Man.
So,
Did you start in the second season like a smart person?
Well, I was like, I'm going to do this for real. I'm going to start with the first season.
Yeah, first season's not too bad.
Well, it's interesting because I think after the Mark character leaves, I really liked the Mark character, actually. He was the one not cartoon character.
I think people should do it the way I did, which is start with the Snake Juice episode, like 5 seasons in, and then just watch it forward, and then loop it and watch mid-season 1 somewhere in there. And by then you're so lost and you're having fun, it's great. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's good. I'm liking it a lot. I started watching it like a week ago, and I'm on season 5.
Wow,
so
cool.
So I'll probably be done with the series by the time I go back to New York.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're pretty cute. I love Jean-Ralphio.
So good. Man.
But yeah, that's all I've been watching.
I can't wait till Jean-Ralphio plays Sonic.
I forgot it's a thing. Jesus.
I got my foot ran over by a Lexus.
Ryan, I've told you about somebody who put that line over the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer. And it's just Spider-Man swinging to "I got run over by a Lexus." It's still one of my favorite things the
Let's go out
internet's
because
ever
I
done.
am flush with cash. Boy is a question on the bar exam. Because he has 2 ankle monitors. Yep. Sean Ralphio.
Benchwork.
Yep. What'd you watch this week, Zach?
A couple things. In order to get ready for our film of the week, I rewatched the original Mary Poppins. That thing still looks amazing and is amazing and all the things. It's pretty fantastic. There's not much to really report on that. I watched the Teen Titans Go movie.
Yes.
Because I was in a kind of a failed attempt to catch up on stuff from this year that I missed. So this is the only one that I really squeezed in. But so I'm not going to say it's as good as Spider-Verse in terms of quality, but I had as much fun with this as I did with Spider-Verse. So that meant a lot. I had a lot of fun with this film. I had no idea, other than Robin and Cyborg and Beast Boy, what the Teen Titans were. So going into it blank, I had just as much fun as anybody who was probably a fan. That has my favorite Batman v Superman joke of all time, where they're recreating the film. They bond over their mother's being named Martha, and they go, "Wait a minute, what's your father's name?" And then they just start beating each other up again. And Stan Lee's cameo made me laugh too damn hard because he just lunges. Well, it's not the first one; it's the second one. He does a second cameo where he jumps in front of their car and goes like, "I just realized I don't care if this is a DC movie. I love all cameos," and they have to shake him off the car. It's pretty fun. And I actually really liked the plot, the villain plot, with Slade and using the movie set to trick them. I thought that was pretty fun. Like, I mean, you could see it coming a mile away, but like I kind of like the way they executed it. So, but yeah, and I also like how they keep trying to replay their theme song throughout the whole movie, and then they don't get to do it till the end. But yeah, no, it was fun. Rad and Ryan were right. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I watched a couple of I found some old Don Rickles specials where it's just him headlining a special on Amazon Prime. So I bought them for $2 each and watched them, and they're pretty adorable, funny. But the only reason they're not as fun as other things Don Rickles does is because he's not really allowed to curse or go into truly wacky directions. I think the funniest one, honestly, is making John Wayne become a stand-up comedian, but wearing a mask so that no one will be able to identify him. So it's kind of adorable, but not that much fun. So don't recommend that unless you're into old shit like I am. Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys.
I like old movies.
No, but like it's just I don't know how to explain it. I'd have to show it to you, but like not everything still works either because it's the 70s. I watched The Mule, the new Clint Eastwood joint.
Not sure he'd call it that himself, but okay.
I don't really care. I have to finish this filmography thing up quick, and I'm really going at a snail's pace with it, but I had to watch this one in the theater. It's okay. It's not... I like Gran Torino more because I think Gran Torino's a lot more...
watchable?
No, it's not that. It's not a matter of watchability. You know what it is?
Well
like,
made.
So with Gran
Short.
There's a lot of all your ideas are valid, Goyce.
A movie.
A movie. The Mule's problem is unlike Gran Torino. Like Gran Torino, yes, there's problematic language, but I know I'm not supposed to like that character from the get-go. Yeah. Whereas the Mule's problem is that he's kind of likable, but he's doing he doesn't the arc doesn't suggest that this is a man that you should you despising what he's doing, even though the end treats it as such. He's doing a pretty terrible thing for the money and whatnot, and the only real regret he's feeling is for the personal mistakes he has in his life, and not the fact that he's a drug runner. And that's I don't know, because by the very end, they kind of don't really reconcile the fact that he doesn't understand he's paying for crimes. He's still selfish at the end, so he doesn't learn anything. which I think would be, whereas Gran Torino, like, however loosely it's done, he learns something at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to die for it and then sing a song in heaven at the end, but yeah, he's learned something.
That's not my
yeah, I know. Just wait till he dies, and then years later you die, and you go up there, and he's there at the gate singing for you. But the mule's bigger problem, though, outside of that, like, the thing is, it is watchable, and it actually is a good coda for him as a movie star. But dude, that motherfucker looks like he's about to tip over. It's scary. I felt bad. He's getting big. Slow down. Like, I mean, like, Carmel, where you used to be mayor, sounds like a fun place to just go fish. I wish he'd go fish, because it would seem like much more peaceful than this. The movie, though, doesn't look too bad, and Bradley Cooper's fine in it. Like, it all feels like it's like slapdash together too much. And I want to watch it again before I write the final article to see if I still feel about it, but first reaction is it's not going to make my top 10, spoiler alert. Neither will 1570 to Paris.
Does it feature a Pitbull cover of Paint Your Wagon?
No, it features a Toby Keith song, which was kind of as annoying.
I want Clint Eastwood to do a cover of Toto's Africa.
Yeah, Toby Keith.
Africa.
I just want a Time Life CD of Clint Eastwood singing things that annoy James.
Oh my God, we still talk about the mule?
No, we're done with the mule. I mean, just like, I've been spending so much time with that shit, though, dude, that like it's almost frustrating. Like, I'll be glad when I'm done. I need to just get it out of the way. And then the last thing I watched was I went to go see Roma in a theater while it was still available to do that. It's Alfonso Cuarón's new film. Shit's beautiful.
I'm gonna watch it at home like it was intended. Like the filmmaker intended it.
So here's the thing. That's not a bad idea, because it is an intimate character drama, but it's also shot almost like on a smallish epic scale. Like, it looks great in the theater on the big screen.
It's gonna look dope on my TV.
That sound design is very detailed, and it felt
5.1, motherfucker.
There's nothing wrong with seeing it at home.
What the fuck is the movie about, Zach?
It's about two maids working
It's actually really fascinating.
It's about two maids working in an upper class Mexican family's house in the 1970s, and
or Tequila Farm.
It is a loose autobiography of Alfonso Cuarón.
So
life. Like, he'll go see movies throughout the movie as well, and I've heard about one specifically where you go like, oh shit, he is gonna make that movie later.
It doesn't take place in Italy.
No. It's in Mexico. Yeah. I actually don't know that anyone knows why it's called Roma.
No.
Do you know why it's called Roma?
I don't know, but what I found interesting.
You've seen it.
No,
I didn't
don't think it's mixed.
It doesn't.
People
as
have
far
told
as
me that they don't know why it's called Roma.
As far as I can tell, it doesn't make reference to it.
Yeah.
So like,
He likes tomatoes.
So this all seems so wrong.
It's just the little ones.
Yes.
But it's a pretty fascinating character drama where we get to see her experience working for these upper class people and also kind of living in her life. Like, it's done in two languages technically. It's Spanish and Mexitec, which is like the indigenous language. So I mean, since I don't understand either, it like all falls within the same text bracket. So I'd imagine if I was multilingual, this movie would be even more fucking brilliant than I already think it is. And it's incredible. The last 30 minutes of the film like ramp up at high speed in an interesting way. It almost reminds me of Children of Men, not in the terms of how the cinematography like does long shots, but just the intensity of it and how most of the stuff that is the most intense is happening in the background, and the most important is the quietest and in the front. It juxtaposes in a very interesting fashion.
Cool.
And then, I mean, like it plays with you a lot visually. Like the opening credit sequence is a floor being soaked with water to be mopped. That's like, and it sounds pretentious, but it's pretty mesmerizing. I don't know how to describe it. So yeah, I would watch it if you've got access to it on any front. And then the last thing I watched was The Last Jedi. I rewatched it today. I'm just going to make the definitive statement on that film. That movie's great. That's it. We don't have to argue about it anymore. Ever.
I don't think anyone in this podcast
No,
would.
not you. Just the internet. I'm talking to the internet, not you guys. The internet.
It's the best Star Wars.
Yes. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but it's a great movie.
Ryan, what have you been watching?
I didn't.
Oh, you're still here.
Yeah, I know, right? Fuck. No, I didn't watch anything actually new this week. My friend Brandon was in town, and he, growing up with him in high school, he saw my movie collection, and he's said, "Hey, we need to watch Repossessed. If you don't know what Repossessed is, it stars Leslie Nielsen and Linda Blair, and it's about her being repossessed by the devil, and it's really stupid, but it's stupid in a funny way."
Who directed that one?
I don't know. Some guy who's never made another movie.
The devil.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah. Because some of the jokes don't land very well, but when they do, they're really funny. It's a parody movie, so it hinges on how well the parody is. Some of it works really well. My favorite bit in it is Leslie Nielsen plays Father May I, and he's originally the exorcist of Linda Blair. Linda Blair gets possessed by the devil again, and she goes sees another father, and she's explaining to the father what happened, and she said, "Father, the devil came out of the TV and into my soul." And the dude who plays the priest looks at her and says, "Okay." He says it like it's stupid. It's a pretty lame movie, but it's one of the ones we really like growing up. One of the movies that I think is one of the best parodies ever, and it doesn't get a lot of recognition. It's National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1 that stars Emilio Estevez and Samuel L. Jackson. And it's just making fun of Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, and it's just really lame, but it's really funny. Tons of celebrity cameos in it. The cops in it are really stupid. They think every murder is a suicide. Whoopi Goldberg is killed at the beginning. And so I don't know if any of you guys remember Dr. Joyce. So she's like the pathologist on scene, and Samuel L. Jackson comes down and says, "What happened here?" And she said, this chicken shit loser took the chicken shit way out and punched her own ticket." And so I just said, "Hey, we used to be partners." And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he rolls over Whoopi Goldberg, and she has like this gaping look on her face, and he says, "Must have caught herself by surprise." It's so stupid. And there'll be parts where like his partner walks up to him and he'll say, "Hey, Sarge, I don't know what's going on, but I have this dry, itchy scalp." He's like, "Have you tried this, Irv?" And he pulls out a Head and Shoulders like bottle, and he says, "But Sarge, you don't have dandruff." "I know." It's totally stupid. So I'm always a big fan of a joke happening and then it pays off a lot later. In this film, Lynn Shay is giving this description of this guy who assaulted her to a police artist, and she's saying, "Oh no, bigger lips," and they cut to the artist, and it's a potato head, and it has these really big ears and these like wax lips. And about 30 minutes later, Emilio Estevez and Samuel L. Jackson are arguing with Charlie Sheen, who's a valet. And this guy goes in the background who has a potato head, and he goes, "No, don't take me. They'll fry me." It's just so stupid, but it's brilliant. And the captain who's in Last Action Hero is the captain in this one, and all he does is yell the whole time, like he does in Last Action Hero. And Samuel Jackson says, "Man, she's onto this conspiracy. I think that's what got her killed." And he says, "You don't think it was the bullets?" It's stupid. It's brilliant. William Shatner's in it. Dennis Leary. Yeah, it's really funny. You should check it out.
Cool.
It's Lethal Weapon 1. We watched The Wedding Singer, which is one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. He's really good in it. Sweet movie.
They put it on Blu-ray, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to go get it done.
Yeah, it's good. I think you get it for like $5 now.
I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah, it's really fun. In it, Adam Sandler plays a wedding singer who gets stumped on his wedding day, and then he works with Drew Barrymore, who's about to marry a douchebag, and they fall in love. And that's The Wedding Singer. It's a really cute movie. We also watched Tommy Boy, which is really funny. I haven't seen that in forever. And you forget little moments in those kind of films, and it makes you sad that Chris Farley died 21 years ago. But there's this line at the end where Rob Lowe gets ratted out as behind the mastermind behind trying to steal money out of the Callahan Auto Factory, and after Tommy exposes him, he just runs out of the boardroom, and Chris Farley goes chasing after him. It's like, hey, you forgot your wife. It's funny. The movie's great. You can see why it's a cult favorite. And the last thing I watched is I've been binging Designated Survivor. Just because I felt like watching Kiefer Sutherland movie, and I watched a show. I watched a couple of the episodes, and now they're all available on Netflix. So I'm like, yeah, why not? It's okay. I need it.
I need it.
I need it to be.
I need it
more like sinister, where it's a little kind of cheesy.
Gotcha.
When every episode is the first episode, the Capitol building explodes, and the premise of the film is. He's picked as a designated survivor, so a cabinet member is locked away in case something happens. So the Capitol explodes, kills everybody except for Kiefer Sutherland and Virginia Madsen, who plays the only congressperson still alive. Ooh. And so Kiefer has to be a president, and so it's just going through what it's like to be the president. But every episode, there's like another attempt on his life, or there's a biological terrorism thing when people try to go to the booths.
I feel like there would be enough just practical problems.
Yeah,
like
everything is like a huge conspiracy
because whoever did it succeeded.
Yeah,
so there's just a lot of paperwork to do now.
I'm gonna see where it goes because the dude who they set up as the villain died halfway through the first season. Spoilers! So he dies halfway through the first season, and so I'm interested to see where it goes. I think I'm like on episode 11. Like it's really well made, and all the actors are really good at it, but it's still kind of cheesy. Because
now Jack Bauer has to be the president.
I know it'd be way better because
he can't go on missions.
I know Kiefer's really good in it, but I keep on waiting for like a Jack Bauer moment, and he has it, but he has to be like political Jack Bauer, where Jack Bauer would just cut someone's insides out. I miss that part, but it's still it's on Netflix and you can stream it, so everybody has Netflix, so it doesn't really hurt.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Cool.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw Mary Poppins Returns. Brad, should people see Mary Poppins Returns?
Yeah, it's a charming film. I enjoyed it enough. It's really creative visually, but it's a good starting point for like a new franchise. The story didn't like grab me because it's a sequel, but it's kind of I haven't seen the original Mary Poppins in a very long time, but I felt like this was the same story, just role reversal in some places, and the songs, the songs are fine, but the first song feels like the template for every other song in the movie. And I got home and I realized that I think the first song is actually like a slightly different version of Spoonful of Sugar. Kind of the same beats.
Are you talking about the bathtub song?
Yeah, the Can You Imagine That?
So not the actual intro song. Okay.
Right, yeah. The Can You Imagine That song.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it was like the Deadpool joke where it's like, do you want to build a snowman? It felt like the Spoonful of Sugar.
Sure.
Thing. So I think it's good enough, and Emily Blunt's great. I hope she gets to keep making more Mary Poppins movies because she's that good. Yeah.
Zach, should people see Mary Poppins Returns?
Yeah, let's go see the Chimney Awakens. No, I love the film. I was worried about it not, I guess, like honoring the original film because I wouldn't blame it for ignoring it. Because it is a 50-year-old movie. But I'm amazed that it honors the tradition of it while kind of laying some new groundwork. I love the songs. Where the Lost Things Go is one of my new favorite songs to think about. The animation sequence in it is fantastic. Whether it's with Can You Imagine That or the book song, the cover book song.
Yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda's fan. I understand now why people want to see a Hamilton show. Yeah, I mean, I think if there was only one problem with it is it felt too short. I kind of wanted a little more because some things felt rushed. But other than that, can't complain. Please go see it. It's fantastic.
James?
Yeah, I think it's really great. I would agree with Brad that I think it does retread some ground, but I think that's intentional because it's a 50-year-old film. Like they're, I think most people are going to have that thing of like, oh, I don't even remember the last Mary Poppins, right? So they pay homage and tell that a similar story, but updated from a slightly different angle because it's not just it isn't the same story because it's not parents ignoring their kids because they're busy, but it is the same story in that the people she's here to save, she's trying to help them remember to have fun and that, and also save them from this problem they have. And yeah, I think the music's great. I as you're watching it, I think at least for me, you're watching a song and dance movie and you haven't seen that in such a long time that you're like, oh, this is just so much fun. And not in the way that like a La La Land was. Like, this is just genuinely the most quintessential Disney film it could possibly be. There's a blend between like modern CG animation sections and then hand-drawn animation sections that are great. It's hard to imagine somebody not being that entertained by it. So yeah, I think it's great. I also would mimic. I hope that they make more of them, and I would certainly hope that as they do it, they do make them a bit more complex in what they're maybe what the lesson is. But at the same time, I think it's wonderful. The music is great. So yeah, people should go see it.
Henry?
So I've never seen Mary Poppins.
Oh my!
I also had no idea what Mary Poppins was. I never really looked into it. So when she comes out of the clouds, I was like, what the fuck is this film?
You had a fun experience.
I didn't know magic was going to be part of this movie.
Burn the witch.
So that being said, I feel I enjoyed it a lot. And I feel like I enjoyed it as much as someone who has no connection to this franchise could like it.
Okay.
I feel like if I was more connected to the characters, I would have liked it more.
Sure.
But I was like, boy, is that a reference or is this like a fun thing?
I don't know if this is fun or a reference.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Check it out. Maybe watch the first one. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Do you feel like you knew what was going on?
No.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Huh.
Movies like this for me are really hard. It's like a Spider-Man film because I love Mary Poppins. I love Julie Andrews. And we've already documented my love for Emily Blunt. So combining things that I love into another thing that I love.
And Disney.
Yeah. It's really hard for me to be not biased, but I love this movie. I'll talk about it more when we review it, but everything about this movie sung to my like child heart, because James alluded to, they don't making a musical. They've made them, but they don't make them like this, where it's they're going to take a bath and it's just about whimsy and having fun, and it has really nothing to do anything about advancing the story. I
would argue with this, which is that I always fight against musicals where the songs don't actually relate to the and here every song is where the characters are going.
Yeah, it does. What I mean is that song isn't part of the arc of the story, where it's her introduction to the kids.
Yes.
And of what the possibilities that she can open for them.
Yeah.
And that they can trust her.
It's individualized ideas.
Well, but it's also her teaching them. Well, anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, here's a trailer for Mary Poppins Returns.
I honestly can't remember why we kept most of this stuff to begin with.
Don't you remember that kite? We used to love flying that with Mother and Father.
Those days are long behind me.
That's why I live and breathe.
I was flying the kite and it got caught on a nanny.
Mary.
Poppins, you came back.
You seem hardly to have aged at all.
Really? One never discusses a woman's age, Michael. Would have hoped I taught you better. What brings you here, here after all this time?
Same thing that brought me the first time. I've come to look after the bank's children.
Us?
Oh, yes, you too.
We're about to lose our home. Everything's fallen to pieces since your mother.
I miss Mother.
Nothing's gone forever, only out of place.
It's a good thing you come along when you did, Mary Poppins.
How'd you do that?
Do what?
So you've been off filling the children's heads with stuff and nonsense.
You've forgotten what it's like to be a child.
Everything is possible.
Even the impossible. Off we go.
It's also her teaching teaching them to use their imagination
Yes,
again, which is what
yes.
they've lost. Because when she meets those kids, they've had to grow up so much in a year, right? And even they
Yeah.
say it, and she's like, "That's a shame. Let me fix that."
Because being a Mary Poppins fan, she only comes down when she's needed most. And I'm going to go full disclosure. I was such a baby in this movie. So I go in and,
Wow, where's my popcorn?
Yeah, that's what I was like. You see Lin-Manuel, who's amazing, and he's, telling you, he's
that opening
setting
song is really pretty.
He's setting the mood.
And what he's telling you is going to happen is really beautiful.
Yeah, So they're setting up the Banks kids and what's going on with the other Banks' children, and I started crying when Emily Blunt came down as Mary Poppins.
Right,
and I'm just sitting there. I'm watching it, and I can feel like tears coming down. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
No, I had the same experience which is why it's really funny that Henry's like, "What the fuck?" and we're both like, "She's gonna come save the kids."
Because in my heart, I'm like, oh, Mary Poppins is here. Oh my God, it's Emily Blunt, and it's just her reveal to me is, I don't know, it got me emotional, and I was emotional the rest of the film. So her singing with the dolphins and going through the under thing, I was sucked in right away. The story is the little Banks's children, they lost their mother, and they're about to lose their house because of a loan that he took out because he couldn't pay for it. And the lawyers show up, and there's the one really nice lawyer, and then the one, lawyer who's like the character lawyer. Yeah.
Bumbling lawyer.
Yeah, it's the whole film is just I can't even put into words
Actually,
how I felt watching it.
It's funny because Ben Whishaw, Paddington.
I refer to this film as Paddington Solves the Housing Crisis.
But Ben Wishaw's opening number in the attic.
Beautiful. Oh, yeah.
That's where I started crying. So I got in even earlier on the tear action. But it's just, and I mean, I liked the kite. Like, it's the one moment where I could say maybe there's too much nostalgia there, but I'm like, no, it's important. Shut up, Zach. Enjoy the movie. And just,
yes, Zach.
Yeah, I do that to myself inside the theater a lot. I'll smack myself around. But also just everything kind of parallel. Like, I love that. Like, they're almost like they haven't quite become their parents, but they kind of have, like, Jane's got like an activist thing going with the labor crisis situation. Like, everything kind of aligns perfectly in a way of like that idea of like you say you're never going to become your parents, and then you become your fucking parents. And so I kind of enjoyed that little aspect of it.
And Emily Blunt is so good in this movie. Take away how much I like her. She's so good. She's really good Mary Poppins. And she's different. She's not the Julie Andrews Mary Poppins. There's a hint of her in it, but she does make it her own. I think the costumes in this film are amazing. I think the centerpiece of Light of Fantastic is stunning. When he's taking them through London, and then they do that huge dance number, and it's amazing with all the little lampies, or what do they call them?
I don't remember.
I call them lampies.
Yeah, all the lamp lighter guys.
That's a sequence that like so I rewatching the first one this week. Like it captures, not quite in the same silhouetted fashion with the chimney sweeps, but like it's a dead-on impression for that style. But Rob Marshall, and he's done this in Chicago and other things before, with the visual with the visual style, is hitting like dark edge shadow on top of very like bright expressionistic colors. And he does that scene very well, to the point where it stands out on its own for the movie they're making while paying a subtle homage.
Yeah.
And it's like it's neat to watch it, because I don't see it often, and when I do, I get excited about that.
It was funny when that sequence started. Like right before that, I thought to myself, like, man, this is really good. Lin-Manuel Miranda is just not Dick Van Dyke, though. And then the dance sequence happened, and I was like, okay, cool. This is not Dick Van Dyke, for the record, but you did a good job.
Yeah.
You got some BMX biker guys in there to dance with a bike. That was fun.
And there's moments too where Emily Blunt is so good. There's a part where they all going to ride on Jack's bike,
right.
and the little boy asks, "Well, how much do you weigh, Mary?" And she gives this look. It's awesome. Yeah. I cried again where the lost things go. And I was, oh my gosh, this freaking thing. And then they said, oh no, look, it was real because Mary's scarf is on the wheel. I cried again. And then,
well, and a cover is not a book is great.
Oh,
that whole sequence is wonderful.
And
the rap, not great. No idea what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah,
but everything else,
it's
great.
in there because he's in there.
Exactly.
Well, it's like,
hey, you saw Hamilton.
If you don't like that, you're not gonna like Hamilton. That's all Hamilton.
Hey, guess what? Not gonna like Hamilton.
You're not missing much. I've seen it. It's not that great.
Yeah, what was I going to say? You fuckers.
Book, and then
the thing
comes
is
back,
real.
wheel.
And the kids are like,
and then
That's
I cried again. I will. I cried again when Dick Van Dyke shows up.
Oh my god.
Just because.
But he's not going to dance, right? He's too old to dance.
Because I read an interview with Lin-Manuel and Emily Blunt, and they talked about, so if you watch the film, he just jumps up on the desk. Mm-hmm. They were supposed to help him up. And Dick Van Dyke's like, I got this. And he went up and did his penguin dance. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it's...
A soft shoe 90-year-old vaudevillian getting up and dancing on a table.
95.
Yeah, 95 even. That was the most spectacular cinematic experience I've seen this year.
It was so good.
So here's I only have two real issues with this film.
You fucking piece of shit.
Okay, one, I think Colin Firth's bad guy plot is a little too bad guy-y, whereas in the original film, it's more about just like they just happen to be bankers and they just happen to be shitty capitalists.
Well,
but the other one is, so Dick Van Dyke is credited on all the posters and stuff. Like we've seen it in the advertisements. He's in the trailers and stuff.
Right.
One of the most beautiful homages to this film happens in the credits. When they get to Dick Van Dyke's credit, they did the same shuffling of letters as in the first one. And so I was almost like, oh, I would have like probably had an even like more heart-pounding experience if they hadn't have told me he was going to be in it. Yeah. And then they did that same thing. I don't know.
One of those things like you knew it was like if you've seen Mary Poppins the original, you know he's the banker.
Yeah,
you're like, okay, if that banker comes back, what's great here is he plays the banker but without any makeup.
And he's the son of the first banker, which is
isn't Colin Firth? No.
The Colin Firth is the nephew of the son of the banker from the first one.
Oh, I thought he was just playing the same banker.
No. It's the son of that banker from the first one.
Oh, okay.
So,
I guess that would make sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
it's been like
because
40 years?
It's
40
been
years.
Yeah.
40
So that
40 years. How are
keep in mind that first bank.
Those kids are not 40 years old.
40-year-old DVD release.
And you've got to keep in mind.
No. We know the movie's 40 years old. I mean, how much older are the kids in this one than they are in the first?
They look like they're in their mid-30s, but that first banker dies at the end of the first Mary Poppins because he died after hearing a good joke.
Oh.
And that the one who hires George to be the partner, that's who Dick Van Dyke's playing.
Okay, you might be right.
Outside of perspective, this is a film where a dolphin appears in a bathtub. I don't know if the logistics of who would inherit the job title of banker really matters.
You know what? Fair.
This must be how some people feel about Star Wars, and then you hear the one person going, "I like space lasers."
Right. Luke Skywalker would never do that.
I like the pew pew.
Anyway, Dick Van Dyke's in it, and that's great.
Yep.
The whole fight last song with the clouds is.
Yep. Angela Lansbury is great in it.
Angela Lansbury is great.
I like how Colin Firth tries to go up with a balloon and he can't go up, and it just
I
goes
kinda
limp.
wanted him to.
No, screw him.
Poor guy.
He was trying to take away their house.
That's true.
Fucking Colin Firth.
But now
Also, just maybe I missed it. Why did he want that house in particular?
he wants all the houses. He just wants to
all
make
the houses.
money.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's evil banker guy.
He's an evil banker taking
He's a wolf.
advantage of people during the Depression.
He already took the Oscar, and now he wants the houses, man. Like, this is how greed works.
Yeah. The original film was, a very communist film at its time about not necessarily trusting the banks. And so that's still there.
That's why I never saw it.
Yeah.
I only watch good old-fashioned capitalistic films.
Yeah. Like isn't It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah, capitalism.
See, I got you. It's the same fucking movie.
Wait, no. No one's mentioned the Meryl Streep segment yet.
I was gonna say Meryl Streep's great.
Yeah.
I love that part.
I was actually going to say I wasn't sure why that sequence was part of the plot, but
Because it's like the Ed Wynn part in the first one. You need a funny relative of Mary's to do a funny song.
Well, but it's also like that's one of my favorite things about this one is that near the end the kids start using the things that she has taught them, and so like near the end, I can't remember what the line is, but there's specifically one where like, and it's from that section, but they start saying lines that are specifically lines Mary Poppins says earlier in the movie of her of them actually learning the lessons, and one of them is that one about not waiting till tomorrow. No, it was about not waiting till tomorrow.
And seeing from a new perspective.
Yeah. So both about the perspective thing, and then also about not waiting till tomorrow to do something just because there's a problem today.
Also, one of the coolest, didn't think they were going to recall this character. Fucking David Warner plays Admiral Boom. Admiral Boom's still a fucking live, and he's blowing that cannon up the top of the house.
Right.
And it's David Warner, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I felt stupid when they turned back time.
You can stop there.
Because I was like, I should have seen that coming. And it was so pleasant.
No, it'd be better if Cher showed up. If I could turn back time. Just kidding. And no one else knows if I could turn back time.
Oh, yeah, I could.
I know she straddles a cannon.
I guess in a couple days we're going to see Aquaman.
My man.
Wonder how many times in the movie he goes, woo!
Yeah!
I don't remember it that much.
I'm going to guess 4. I'm going to guess there's 4.
There's plenty of other distracting things going on.
Like his abs.
I was just looking. Hold on. Let me pull it again so I don't say it wrong.
Real nerds came to see my movie. I'll take it.
93%. Bumblebee has a 93% right now.
Yeah, I believe it.
Brad, is it really good? Is it the Transformer movie I've been waiting for?
It's the best Transformer movie ever made.
Blasphemy.
What?
Blasphemy. What? Blasphemy. All the other films are great.
I was fine with the first.
The first one's really good.
The 2007 one, but this one is just.
You see, you haven't analyzed it like I have, but to see how the Transformers are really about the Josh Duhamel character and how Josh Duhamel's evolution.
Yes.
Well, okay. Actually, Henry has one good point. In Bumblebee, do they ever say the line "Bring the rain"?
No.
Not the best Transformers movie. Not the best Transformers movie.
I think it rains in the movie. Is that fine?
But somebody bring it.
Does anyone?
If the rain doesn't get brought,
I mean, for all I know, Optimus Prime set off a weather machine and the rain.
Geostorm machine?
Yeah.
Oh man, shit!
I don't want to say too much because we might review it, but
I'm seeing it tomorrow with Kellen. He really wants to see it.
Yeah, I want to go.
It's this wonderful like '80s pill, nostalgia pill. That I'm just like, from the get go, you're like, I'm gonna love this movie.
I see. Traditionally, I see shitty movies with Rafe, and he's in Trinidad right now. So I'm like, I'll wait till you come back because he really wants to see it. But God damn it, maybe I'll make him go see Aquaman next week, and I'll go see Bumblebee instead. Oh,
You can make him go see Mortal Engines.
No.
So-
Aquaman will be just fine.
I'll tell you a funny story. When I went and saw Mary Poppins, I went at the Arvada one because I took Brandon to the airport, so I'm coming back this way. So I went to the Arvada movie theater, and there's like a line, and I'm like, oh, fuck. It's like 10 minutes before the movie starts. Is this movie going to be sold out? Everybody in front of me bought tickets to Mortal Engines.
Wow.
Really? They're the entire box office.
Yeah.
So-
I know.
Arvada, that was the
I know.
audience.
My movie theater of Mary Poppins only had like 20 people in it.
Man.
Yeah, mine was pretty low attended too.
Mine was pretty full. I saw it on
Yeah.
Friday. It's Christmas, so it's always, people are seeing movies at weird times.
Yep.
I will say, by the way, like I've only been to a few Dolby Atmos things. I think the last thing I did was American Made, that Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Watch Mary Poppins in Dolby Atmos if you can. It sounds beautiful there. It's pretty awesome. The floor vibrates when Admiral Boom's cannon goes off. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Have I mentioned how awesome Emily Blunt is?
You
I
know
love that
One more
woman.
time.
She's great.
If she could win an Oscar for playing the same role that Julie Andrews did, I'd fucking love it.
Now, this would, definitely top my top 10 list if Mary Poppins at some point, they cut and she was, slightly across the room doing a half push-up. Then I'd be like, oh, fuck.
I think she
Man.
screwed up her chances for Oscar because she has to compete against herself in A Quiet Place.
That is true. So she's going to cancel herself out.
Oh, and then they could turn Big Ben back and turn back time and then get trapped in a loop and fight the bankers, and they have to keep doing it over
Keep going, it'll pay off.
and over again.
For those listening at home, James is making a reference to Live, Die, Repeat or Age of Tomorrow.
We call it All You Need Is Kill.
Yes. Well, I think her Mary Poppins performance is more digestible for Academy voters. So
No, yeah, but it doesn't matter. She's not going to win for either of those.
I know.
They're going to give it to fucking Nicole Kidman for Destroyer or some shit.
No, it's going to Emily Blunt for Mary Poppins Returns.
I heard they say when you get nominated twice, you cancel yourself out. So
she's going to win.
I heard you enter the third dimension.
Quit ruining my dreams of Emily Blunt having a great night at the Oscars.
You know what? I don't think she'll win for this year, but I think she'll win eventually.
You know what's more entertaining than...
Scratch that. I'll know she'll win eventually.
Than the Oscars?
What?
Literally anything she was in this year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree.
That is
with
very
you.
actually that's very true.
Yep. So we'll see you in a few days for Underneath the Seven Kingdom Sea Aquaman reference that I don't know.
My man.
And then it's Film Explosion.
Yeah, then Film Explosion. So start sending us your lists.
Yeah.
Coming up fast.
Coming up fast.
We'll be coming around. Are we doing
Send
that
us
on
your Film
Friday or
Explosion.
Saturday?
We'll dig it.
Saturday, right?
When people are available, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to have to be in the morning, so Saturday would be best.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, I don't work Friday, but I know you guys work Fridays.
Yeah. Saturday would be great.
Yeah, Saturday, any time of the day would be great.
Yeah.
Don't care what.
Yep. Start early.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I will start at
who
8
you
a.m.
are.
if that's what we need
I already
to do.
have my list.
Wait.
Is it going to change? I don't
I
know.
don't know. You haven't seen Bumblebee yet.
That is
Just
true.
scheduling nerds.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Drafthouse in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.